all the action from the past week on our website. Just head over to sewingstreet.com and go to TV Guide and pick a day, then a show up to 7 days back from the Today tab. Looking for something older? Check out the Sewing Street YouTube page, where you'll find our full archive of shows anytime, anywhere. Stay inspired and keep sewing with Sewing Street.
Good morning, welcome to Sewing Street.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5 seconds, 4, 3, 2, 1. Embellishments live.
Good morning and welcome to Sewing Street. And how are we all this morning? Chilly. It was -2.5 this morning when I got up. That's very cold, isn't it? Lovely. It was one of those lovely frosty mornings. So I hope you're all good out there. Thank you so much for joining me this morning. Lovely day for you today as well. We've got Debbie Shaw and Lucy Pixley in. Very exciting. And I've got a brand new product to show you in just a moment. So I've got my sewing machine out already. But let's start with the early bird, shall we? So if you're new to Sewing Street, welcome. Lovely to have you with us. We always start with an early bird, which is a product that's either something new or something that you love that we do a little bit of a discount with, just to get you excited first thing in the morning, because it is only 8:01 and 58 seconds. It's quite early, really, isn't it? Anyway, the early bird this morning is the John James Hand Sewing Needles Variety Bundle. Sounds like a game show, doesn't it? The Variety Bundle. 9 packs of needles. So look at all these. We should have counted how many. There's not just, look how many there are. We've got 50 hand sewing needles, which is a mixture of tapestry, chenille, darners, sharps, betweens and embroidery. We've got 33 craft needles, which you've got plastic canvas, embroidery, doll making, quilting, candle working, tapestry beading. You've then got a pack of curved needles, brilliant for tacking your quilts together or upholstery. Then you've got a pack of quilting needles. Let's put them all out. Then you've got cross-stitch needles, big eye quilting needles, which are the same as quilting, but just with bigger eyes so they're easier to thread. Tapestry needles, perfect for your cross-stitch. Chenille needles, perfect for your embroidery with thicker threads, and sharps for all your general hand sewing. So look at all of those needles. You've got 50 plus 6 plus 3 plus 12 plus 6 plus 6 plus 6 plus 20 plus 33 plus 4, which is quite a lot, isn't it? All of those needles, right, should be £17.91. They're John James needles, so they come from Redditch, all packaged and sorted here in Redditch, which I think is a bargain anyway for those needles. But what's the saving today, Hannah? £5 saving. Wow, £12.91. That's all of your hand sewing needles sorted. And you get these special curved needles, which you probably don't normally have. Absolutely perfect for, you can use them for upholstery, but for quilting, unbelievable, because you can get them in through. £12.91. You save yourself £5. Now, for all of you who got on before we came on air and have bought them already at the full price, don't worry. You will be charged the lower price. That's how it always works. Whatever the full price is, if we lower the price during the day, we guarantee you will be charged the lower price. So, fantastic early bird. All of your hand sewing needle requirements sorted. Get yourself a needle case, put them all in, and you'll know where you are. £5 saving. That's not bad. So, that's like free P&P and some, isn't it? So once you check out, you've saved your P&P. That means that you've got them free P&P all day. So we should have just done free P&P, shouldn't we? Same thing. 5, it's kind of the same thing. I mean, you do have to buy it. But then, to be honest, if you have free P&P, you've got to make a purchase, haven't you? So if you buy these, because everyone needs hand sewing needles, you've got free P&P for the rest of the day. Save yourself £5. And these needles are going to last you forever. And there's nothing better than having the right needle for the job. So if all you ever using are sharps, these little ones with the little eyes, and you can't thread your embroidery, or you do hand quilting, but you can't see the eye, you need the big eye quilting, or you just want the whole pack, the 50 hand sewing needles, comes with a needle threader as well. Save £5. That is your free P&P for the day. We should have just put that. Free P&P if you buy these needles. So, Helen says, why are the quilting needles so short? Well, the reason is because you need to go through lots of layers, but the idea is to save yourself time is you do several stitches at once. You can get up to like sort of 7 or 10 stitches on your needle. If the needle's too long, you can't pivot it and rock it backwards and forwards. So it's got to be short so you can rock it backwards and forwards. But they have to be little because then you can rock it back and forth and you can get quite a few stitches on your needle. When you start quilting, you can normally only get about 3, but as you get better, you get more and more and more. And if you... What, even lower? What, double P&P? Almost. £6. Anyone who's checked out, you will still only be paying. That's ridiculous. £11.91 for all of those needles. There's loads. There's over 100 needles here for £11.91. So free P&P and some. That's really worth it, isn't it? Anyway, we are very low in stock now. And we won't be able to repeat this price for quite some time because we'd have to get them all back in again. So we're getting low in stock now. Half of the stock is gone now. And it's 8:06. Half of the stock is gone. Get them in your basket. That's your P&P. You've saved more than the P&P. And then the rest of the day, it's free. So we could say free P&P day if you buy this pack of needles. You could say that every day with things. But no, the saving on this is more than the P&P, isn't it? So there you go. Right, we are getting very low in numbers now. Right, we have got over 20 viewing baskets and we only have... We were only supposed to stop at a £5 saving, but you know what? It's a chilly morning, isn't it? Let's brighten it up. So Carla's cold. She's taking more money off. I don't think that's going to make her warm, though. But it makes her heart warm, though, you see. It makes her heart warm. Right, we've got more of you who've got them in baskets than we've actually got in stock now. They are flying down. Please do. I'll let you check out on those, and I'll tell you when we finished, because they're getting very low in stock now. £6 saving for over 100 specialist John James hand-sewn needles. What more can you want? Right, shall we have a look and see what's coming up today for all of you early birds that have joined me first thing? We're going to start off with sewing room tools, and I've got a brand new product that is a game changer and extremely low cost as well. It's not an expensive game changer. It's a very, very low cost. You're going to love it, and I'm going to show you how to use it. It's brilliant. And lots of other great sewing tools as well, including a ruler joiner, which I'm quite looking forward to playing with. Then at 9 o'clock, we've got Debbie Shaw in. She's got some brand new fabric, her Seaside fabric collection, and she's used it, and she's got some patterns as well, to make this gorgeous jellyfish bag. How cool is that? And she's got a new Hexagon box as well. There we go. We're also bringing back her acrylic templates that have previously sold out. We've got hearts and hexagons and circles, and Debbie's going to show us how to use them. These are brilliant for using up your fabric and making all sorts of things. They are already, because we sold out last time, lots of you are getting in early. You've seen it's all available on pre-order. They are already selling, so you need to be careful with those. And we've also got some of Debbie's patterns as well. So Debbie's going to be showing us how to work with her fabric. She's made up lots of items in a brand new Seaside collection. You are going to love it. Then at 10 o'clock, Lucy Pixley will be in. Now, she was supposed to be in a couple of weeks ago, and she's been really poorly, but she's better now. So she is in with her brand new Poppin bag. Oh, it's so lovely. It's a really lovely big basket-shaped bag that you can put all sorts in. It's even got pom-poms on. Beautiful. We've even got some beautiful Guess How Much I Love You. So this would be ideal for baby things. Or store anything in it. It's a brilliant storage basket. We've got a blue. And then we've also got the Winton baskets. And that's Lucy has made in the Guess How Much I Love You fabric. So if you're thinking nursery set or any general storage, because we've got fabrics and we've got patterns on their own as well. So Lucy will be with us to show us those two products, those two kits, at 10. 11 o'clock, Debbie will be back. Now, she's got some amazing fabric stamps. So these all feature her original illustrations. She's had them made into stamps. You can stamp them on your fabric. You can use them to embroider over. You can use them for applique. You can even use them for card making, stamp them on paper. This is one example of one of her stamps where it's all embroidered and appliqued. Absolutely gorgeous. So you don't have to bother with that embroidery transfer thing. You just ink the stamp. The ink comes with the stamps. You stamp it onto the fabric. There you go. And we've got a whole range of them, and Debbie's going to be explaining them to us and how they work. Again, do check out on these before she comes on air. We don't want you to miss out. 12 o'clock, Lucy will be back with her gorgeous snuggle-up blanket and cushion. It's so cute. Now, she's backed this in fleece. Now, I know lots of you often ask us about, can I use fleece instead of wadding and backing on my quilt? Yes, you can. And Lucy has done it with this quilt, and it's a baby quilt, so it's perfect for a present for a new baby, or just as you can use it for yourself as a lap quilt. It's really snuggly, and she's going to show you, explain to you how you do quilting with fleece. And we've got loads of fleeces, and you know that fleece that feels a bit like velvet? Got some of that in, and we've got all of that available by the half metre. So if you fancy quilting with fleece, that will be ideal. So that's the day. Very exciting, isn't it? All needles, 15 left. Do check out on those. Save £6. Right, brand new today. What have I done with it? Oh, there it is. That's so funny, because do you know what I did before we came on air is I took it out of the packaging and I took its plastic seal off, so I was all ready, then I lost it. Now, this is brand new today, £4.99. This is going to save you more than £4.99 in your time. It's amazing. And it's great because I love a product that just does a job brilliantly, and you don't know you need it until you have a go with it. So it's called Seam Guide tape. Now, let me show you. It comes on a roll. It's thin like washi tape, so it's low tack. And what it has is, if I stick a bit on the desk, you can see. So there's the centre line. This is the line that your needle will go along. You don't sew on top of it, by the way. And then these white lines are exactly 1/4 of an inch from the edge of the tape. Now, this means that you can use it for several things. So we're going to start off, and I'm going to show you, let me just get another piece of fabric, how it's low tack. So I'm just going to get a piece of fabric so I can show. So to start with, the obvious use for this is it does your cord. Do I need to move the machine? No, okay. You can use it for, particularly if you're new to sewing, I'll just take that bit off because it's stuck to the desk. You can use it for making sure you've got an exact 1/4 of an inch seam allowance. So all you have to do, right, lift your needle, cut a bit of tape. You can just tear it off. I mean, I guess if you cut it, it's neater, but there we are. Then you don't stick it under the needle because we're not going to be sewing on it. But what you need to do is make sure that the red line lines up with your needle. So what I did when I did it, I just put the red line there and made sure it lined up, okay? And don't stick it under the needle because we're not going to be sewing on top of it. And then you make sure you pull it straight down your machine. If you're just using it for a seam guide, you won't need to bother with this. But if you're going to be using it for half square triangles, which I'll show you in a minute, just make sure it's straight. Now, the easiest way to do that is just to get a ruler. And if you line it up on, you've got that metal plate, and it can be easily repositioned. Just make sure it's running straight. So I'm going to move mine over a bit because this is the important bit. You need to make sure it's running straight. So just double check. Lovely. Right. So if I'm sewing something and I want to have a perfect 1/4 inch seam allowance, I just put my fabric underneath, right? And I don't have to follow because sometimes, you know, these seam guides on these machines, they're etched in, aren't they? And you can't always see them if the light's funny. All you've got to do is run your fabric along that white line. You're not sewing on the tape, you're just using that. So the tape is stuck across there. So to get a perfect 1/4 inch seam allowance, all I need to do is run the edge of my fabric along that white line. So much easier because it's a bit like driving. It's a lot easier to drive if you're looking ahead along the road, isn't it? A long way. So like this morning, give you a driving example. It was really foggy on the M5. And because I couldn't see that far ahead. I had to go really slowly. But then when the fog lifted, because I could see further, I could go faster. So it's a bit like this. If you can see further, you can go faster and you can go straighter. So if you are new to sewing and you're not sure about your 1/4 inch seam allowance, or if you find your machine isn't exactly, if your machine marks aren't exactly 1/4 inch, which to be honest, they're not always. Now, say you want to do it on the other side, you've got this 1/4 inch on the other side, and this just makes it easier because I haven't had this before. So what I do on my machine is I use washi tape and I stick it on in the same way, but I have to measure the 1/4 inch because I just find it easier. So whether you're right-handed or left-handed, or maybe you want to sew the other side, you will get a perfect seam. So I find it easier, even without this tape, to just use tape on my machine because I can see it better. So I think for £4.99, it's brilliant just for that. But look at this, this is fabulous. Now, say you wanted to do a 1/2 square triangles, right? You get your 2 charm squares. You get your 2 charm squares, because I'm going to do them on those, or whatever squares you've got. Now, normally what you would do is you draw a line down the centre and you'd sew 1/4 inch either side of it, or you would draw the line down the centre and you would draw a line either side of it. So you're either drawing 1 line or 3 lines, obviously. With this is brilliant, isn't it? So all you have to do is you line up the corner of your fabric with the 1/4 inch line at the top and the bottom, okay? And I'm just going to put my needle down like this, and then keep that line lined up at the bottom. That's all I'm doing, is I'm only looking at the bottom. I'm not looking at the sewing. I have now sewn a 1/4 inch away from the centre. To do the other side, same thing, line up that point with there. Or you can keep it the same side if you want to, and you can line up that point. So I'm just going to line up the point and then put the needle down. Make sure that the bottom point runs in the white line there. That's all you need to do, is hold the bottom line and make sure the bottom line is running with that point. Because remember, you are sewing along the red line. This tape is brilliant. It comes into home when sewing a 1/2 square triangle or Dresden. You look at the line and get a perfect seam from Jackie. Oh, you see it. Do you know, Jackie, I've never seen this before. So if you look at this now, shall I put it on there? Right, so if you look at that now, I have sewn a 1/4 inch either side of the centre. All I need to do is cut that in half. I'll just get some scissors and show you. Sorry, I've disappeared. And you get 10 metres for £4.99. And you can use this over and over again. The only time you need to take it off is if it goes, like this one goes over the bobbin, you need to do. But you can just peel it back and stick it back on. So all you need to do now is cut along the centre. You don't need a line for cutting. You just cut through the centre. Look at that. And now I have got 2 perfect 1/2 square triangles. I mean, obviously you wouldn't ever do them in the same fabric like I've done, but there we are. Should have checked that. You might, but you probably wouldn't. But I have now 2 perfect 1/2 square triangles. Now, the other thing it's brilliant for is... Oh, right, I've dropped my thing. So, say you want to snowball a corner. So, snowballing a corner is where you want to add a triangle to the corner of fabric, which you often do. Look at, I've got Christmas fabric. I just picked up some charm squares I had this morning, and I discovered when I got here they're all Christmas. So say you want to snowball a corner. It's where you cut off a corner. So instead of cutting the corner off and sewing a square across, you sew it this way. So what you would normally do with that, you take your square of fabric and you draw a diagonal line. Then you pin it here to your fabric, and so what you would do is sew along the diagonal line, and that cuts off the corner, but you don't need to do the drawing. All you do this time is you line up the top corner, the bottom corner, with the red line, because the red line is the sewing line. So my needle's gone in the top corner, my bottom corner is lined up with the red line, and I'm just making sure that corner stays along the red line. Da da da. Then cut it off. Fold it over. Look at that. Perfect snowball corner. So if you're doing half square triangles, where you do 8 in 1, that's even better, because then you have to draw lots of lines. Right, we have got a lot of stock because it's brand new, but the first 100 have already gone. And we're getting lower. So we're getting low. So now if I want to do 8 half square triangles, I'm going to show you how it works with this tape, and you'll get a little tutorial at the same time. So what we do is I'm going to line up my corner with the white line, because that's the 1/4 inch line, and I'm going to follow that all the way down. And then I'm going to line up that corner with the white line. Put my needle down. There we go, so that's 2 lines. So just think of the time I've saved drawing the line, and the accuracy as well. Because quite often what I do is I only draw 1 line down the centre, and then I guesstimate 1/4 inch either side of it, but I don't need to do that. Right, so because we're going to do 8. There we go. That's 1/4 inch side of that line. And then going to do the same with this one. And you don't need to turn it around. You can just move it over. I think just from habit I turn it around, but you can just go over to the other side. So now what I've done, if I have sewn, I should have a rotary cutter really, but I haven't got one. Never mind, I would just guess it. So what you would do normally, right, you would cut along these 2 lines, in the centre of these lines, and then I'll put them back together in a minute. You cut along the centre of these lines. Now you should do this with a rotary cutter, the next thing, but I'm not organised, so I haven't got one with me. But hey, you get the idea. Then put it all back together, right? Oh yes, sorry. Put it all back together. Now you would normally have your rotary cutter here, okay, and you would cut straight down the middle, but obviously I don't have mine. And then turn it all round, even better if you've got a rotating mat. But you know, when you do yours, but look, to be honest, it works fine like this, but I would use a rotary cutter. Cut through the centre there. So basically you're cutting diagonally, horizontally, vertically, okay? So I've done my lines. I've got 8 pieces now, and when I open up each piece, it's a half square triangle. So I've made 8. 8 from a 5-inch square. So if you're doing that, so if you're doing the 2 method, you can use the lines. If you're doing the 4 method, where you go around the outsides, you could use these 1/4 inch lines. And if you're doing the 8 method, so much quicker. I do a lot of projects with half square triangles, and not having to mark makes a big difference. How did I not know this project existed for only £4.99? Now, so that's all of them. So look, if I show you on your machine, it's low tack. When you're ready to take it off, no, it's a low tack tape. So you can use it a few times. Once it starts losing its tack, obviously, just use a new piece. See, it's not sticky at all. Does the tape leave any residue? No, Carol, it doesn't. Not at all. Not at all. So remember, line it up. Don't put it under your needle. It doesn't need to go under your needle. And you get 10 metres. This, for £4.99, this is going to last you absolutely ages. And then just, the only thing is, I've ordered Stuart's quilt at the weekend. Never made a quilt, so we'll definitely need this tape. Yvonne, you definitely will. Well done for getting the quilt kit as well. Right, so I can see that that's all nice and lined up. If it's not, you just move it. And then remember, it just means that because when you're doing a quilt, if you're doing lots of patchwork pieces, the 1/4 inch makes a difference. If you nip over even a 1/16 of an inch, it won't matter for 1 seam, but it will when you do 10 seams or 20 seams, and then your quilt will end up a lot bigger. Over half of the stock has gone when everyone's checked out. So again, I'll just show you with this one, because this is, even if you're an experienced sewer, being able to just follow that white line makes a big difference. Obviously, if I've put the table on here so I can extend my tape a bit, but it depends how long your machine is. But even if you've only got this part of the machine, it's fine. You'll still be able to just follow that line. And I love the fact that you can do it both sides. So if you want to do it the other side, you can. You know, you can sew it from that side, you can sew it from both sides, all depending on what you want. But to be able to do those lines, I think is genius. Also, I discovered, if you want to see, if you've forgotten about how it works and where you line it up, I went onto YouTube. There's loads of videos that show how this works. And there's different American ones and whatever, but it shows you how it works. I even found one video of how to stick the tape on your machine, which I thought quite interesting. But it was good because it did explain that it's very important if you're having it a long piece to get it straight and to just use your ruler for that. So I thought that was quite good. So there's the tape. Ooh, there we go. Roll of tape, hemline, seam guide tape, time-saving seam guide. It does what it says on the tin. And actually, there's on the back, there's some pictures that explain exactly how to use it. Remember, you don't put it under your needle, so it's not gumming up your needle or anything. You just stick it on your machine bed. It's low tack, like a washi tape. It won't leave any residue. I use this washi tape on my machine all the time. It doesn't leave anything at all. And you're getting a whole 10 metres. So it's going to last you ages and ages and ages. We have absolutely sold absolutely loads of these now. Do check out on it. $4.99. 2/3 of the stock is now gone. We will give you we'll let you know a little bit later what the stock is like. But, you know, it's one of those products that if, like me, you've never seen it before, it is brilliant. I'm definitely going to get a roll of this because I have tape and I follow the line on mine just so I can see, because my machine seems to have the metric lines much bolder than the imperial. So I always put a bit of tape on, but I don't need to. I'm going to get this. But you see, when you look at that, you think that this is just decorative. It's not. And this is like, obviously, because it's printed, it's precision, isn't it? You know it's exactly 1/4 of an inch. Also, if you're sewing binding, so you know where you sew 2 pieces of fabric on the bias, so you sew them diagonally together. So when you're sewing 2 pieces of fabric together, you have like one like this and one like that. So you're sewing 2 and then you have to sew them diagonally across. It's absolutely brilliant for that. And then you just open it up and you've sewn your strips together diagonally. It's brilliant for that as well. Snowballing corners, half square triangles, exact seam allowances and binding strips. It's brilliant. I might be putting that one in my pocket. Right. 5-inch charm packs. Seems we've been talking about charm packs. This is what I should have used, shouldn't I, instead of my random Christmas ones. I'm just going to move that out of the way because it's in my way. There we go. Right. These have only been on once before on their own. We've had them in kits, but we haven't sold them as charm packs on their own. So this one is hopped. So in the pack is 42. Remember, there's 42. 42 5-inch squares. Gorgeous, look at these. They're like ammonites and fossils. Beautiful. For all of your charm square makes. Join them all together. Make an amazing patchwork bag, easy peasy. Beautiful, aren't they? Only $15.99. Aren't they gorgeous? Half square triangles. So make them all using your get your seam tape, sew them all together so that they're like half square triangles, because that would look fabulous, wouldn't it? See how lovely they look? But with your seam tape, you see, you get this. You can make several bags with them. How lovely is that? This is obviously, yours will be properly sewn. Yeah, see how much quicker that is. Don't bother sewing, just fold them. There we go. Aren't they glorious? So they all go together beautifully. This could be your new summer tote bag or a cushion. They'd look lovely if you did them all as half square triangles. So maybe if you did them, so you did 4 half square triangles from each. To do 4 half square triangles, put 2 pieces right sides facing, like that. Sew them together all the way around the edge, which seems a bit odd, because then you think, well, how am I going to turn them apart? And then cut them that way and that way, and you will have 4 half square triangles. You can then join them together, and they can be, you can make pinwheels. But how lovely would that be? And in fact, it looks quite nice. What you can do is really mix and match. Is you can do some as holes, some as half squares, entirely up to you. Anyway, that is the hot pack. Gorgeous. Same thing, but cool. However, the good thing about the cave fabric is it all goes together. So say you love the cave fabric and you want to mix and match, you can mix hot and cool. I love that one with the ammonite. I'm going to Lyme Regis at the weekend. Yeah, I always think of fossils and Lyme Regis. Don't you? Because that's where all the fossils come from, isn't it? Down on the Jurassic coast. That lady, what's the book? Have you read the book, Remarkable Creatures by, I think it's Tracy, is it Tracy Chevalier? It's all about the fossil lady in the Victorian times, can't remember what her name is, who discovered all the fossils in Lyme Regis. It's a brilliant book. If you've not read it, Remarkable Creatures, it's brilliant. Makes me think of those fossils there. They are beautiful, aren't they? So that's the cool pack. So you get all of these colours, prints. Again, for ease, just sew them all together. If you want to get a bit fancy, half square triangles, turn them into pinwheels. Cushions. You can make a massive cushion with this, couldn't you? And just to show you that they do blend really nicely with the hot pack, because a lot of the prints are the same in the hot pack, but just in the hot colour. So look, there's the fossily one in the pink. So this is the cool pack. That's like sea urchins, isn't it? Big fossils. Cabbages. What a gorgeous set. Oh, I love that fabric. That's beautiful, isn't it? Only $15.99, and you're getting 42. Aren't they glorious? I've read that one. Oh, Reva messaging Mary Anning. Yes, exactly. Thank you very much for reminding me. That is the Victorian lady who discovered all the fossils in Lyme Regis, even though people didn't think ladies should do such things. It's a great book. It's one of my faves. I like that. I love that green. Gorgeous. So that's the cool pack. These are selling fast, only $15.99 for the 42. Beautiful. Loads of you have got them in baskets. Do be quick. Don't forget the tape. Don't forget the tape, because get your tape, get your charm pen, put them all together. You see, and as you've now, I saw loads of you have already bought the needles. You've covered your free P&P, so it's all done, isn't it? Yeah, I know, just over £20. You've got your tape, you've got your charm packs. That's it. You can have a go with these. And honestly, then a bit of lining fabric, beautiful tote bag. I made a couple of my friends' tote bags in these cave charm squares. Don't know where I got them from. And they loved them. They loved them. And actually, because they took them to Glastonbury with me, and when I met Cave, he said he'd seen the picture that I'd put on of them carrying his cave bags. He was well pleased. So they do look amazing as bags. Anyway, that's the cool and the hot. Janie Crow. Oh, we need to do that. The magnetic notebook. There we are. Sorry, I've got so many notebooks here. That's the magnetic one. So Janie Crow. So this is featuring her crochet designs. So you've just got, it's more opaque in the centre, so you can see the crochet below it, all lined. And then on the back, you've got the magnet so that you can stick it to your fridge or radiator or filing cabinet or anything metal. And then you can just tear off the top sheet, and that's your shopping list. Or a list for other people. Could be a list for other people, couldn't it? Please don't forget to feed the dog. Or I want my tea in the oven when I get home. Empty the dishwasher. It doesn't do it itself. Dishwasher fairies do not live in this house. Could be something like that, couldn't it? Yeah. Yeah, this is the lid of the washing basket. Or you could have, it could be called the sarcasm pad, couldn't it? Mine would be, but it's great for shopping lists as well. So you can use it to just sketch notes on it, can't you? If you're writing your cutting out instructions. It's only $3.99. Also makes quite a nice gift for somebody as well, because it features all of Jane's crochet designs all around the edge, and then it's just got a magnetic piece on the back, so you can stick it to your fridge or anything metal that you can find. A slanted pad. So this is like your sticky note pad. These are sort of last of. So this is just like, you just tear them off. But I quite like the fact, you see it's slanted. So you can see the crochet going all the way down. So it'd be a nice one to have by your sewing machine, so you can write down. You know, like when you need to remember what the stitch length and the width was, and you could just pop it down there. Or things when you just have to work out cutting guides and things. And it's just, and I like the design. I mean, it doesn't matter. It doesn't need to be what the top. I'll just explain this. Clearly don't. I'll get it out. Look, this is how it works. So the top page is smaller than the bottom page. So you can create one of those film things as you're doing it. See? There we go. $4.99 for that. It's lovely, isn't it? But again, it's a really nice gift as well. You know, when you always write, I'm always writing notes. I've always got scraps of paper and I write notes. And then I have to go through all my scraps of paper because I can't remember where all they are. But you could have them all kept in this pad. Also, if you're a knitter and a crocheter, really good to tally down how many rows you've done or what you've changed the pattern. All those sorts of things. Or your bingo scores. Anything. So that's the slanty pad. This one. This is the colour chart. So this is really useful. 5 handy colour cards. So the way this one works, let me just take it out so you can see. This is for your, well, obviously for your crochet, knitting, or it could be used for your cross stitch. So when you're doing a new project, particularly if you're using lots of yarn and different colours, you cut a little piece of yarn on. Hannah thought it was for putting in a folder. Have you ever seen a lever arch with that number of things in it? So you cut off a small piece of the yarn, you thread it through there, and you write down the name of it or the colour number, and then you can write down the name of the project. On the back, turn it over, it's got a ruler, it's got the crochet terms and pattern notes. So you can see, particularly, it's a very quick reference guide between the UK and the US turns, as in like in the UK double crochet, US single crochet, really easy to remember. And then on this side, you can have the name of your pattern and you can have all the pieces of yarn. So if you're doing like a blanket that's got 10 different colours, you just write the names or the numbers or however they're explained in your pattern. Now, you get 5 of these in the pack, absolutely perfect. Nice little gift as well for someone who crochets or knits. We've only got 3 left. You can use them for stranded cotton for cross stitch as well. But we only have 3 of those left. The crochet hook wrap. This is lovely. I like this one. Right, let me show you. Let me show I like this. Love to keep my crochet hooks neat. So this is brilliant. Open it up. Love that fabric. It's all crochet stitches. And then it's got all the little divisions in it. So you can put all your crochet hooks. Then you've got a zippy section at the end. So you can put your scissors, your stitch markers, your ruler, all different things. You could use it for pens and pencils as well, but it is mainly for crochet hooks because it fits them. But all the little bits and pieces. So I have stitch markers. I've got a pen and pencil, tape measure, little scissors. Then, once you've put all your hooks in, you fold that over. That stops it all coming undone. And then you simply fold that over and you just roll it up. Oh, I've got the label in the way. And then you just roll the whole thing up like this, and then this ties round like that. Brilliant, isn't it? Could use it for makeup brushes as well. So that is the crochet hook wrap. And let me show you on the outside. And it features a print of Jane's crochet. There we go. It features Jane's crochet designs. Only $19.99. Lovely thing for you. If you're like me, you've just got a pencil case full of crochet hooks. Get yourself one of these and then you can get everything sorted and stored. Lovely. Only 2 of those left now. Small bucket bag, which is ideal for keeping your yarn in. So it's got a nice square box bottom. Nice and big, so it keeps... There's only one of those left. Ideal for sorting your crochet out, and look at the design on it. Gorgeous, isn't it? Love that. Get that if you can. Pencil case. This one. This is like an oilcloth as well, so it'll be nice and clean. So you can use this for your pencils, or you can use it for your crochet hooks. So what you could do is you can either keep all your crochet hooks in there, or you can keep all your crochet miscellanea. I have a big bag of that. I've got loads of stitch markers and all different things, different tape measures, little scissors. Particularly if you take your crochet away with you, it's quite nice to have this to put everything in, because you also need a pencil in there, don't you, to write your little notes. You could put a little notepad in there as well, and it's a wipe clean. Or you can just use it for a pencil case if you like, but it's mainly for crochet. But it's got a really lovely zip. It's one of those really solid 5mm moulded plastic zips as well. I love that. That's a really good solid zip, isn't it? Lovely. And it features your crochet designs. So again, that's a really nice gift for somebody who loves crochet. Only $8.99. It's not bad, is it? I like that. Even better. We've also got the little purse that matches it, which is in a canvas fabric. Again, you can use this just as a little purse. You could put your spare change in it, wallets, cards, bus pass, whatever you've got, train tickets, or all your crochet stitch markers and things. This one has a 3mm zip, not the moulded plastic, 3mm. Look, there we go, put your receipts in it. When I used to take the train to work every day, I had one purse that was specially just for my train tickets, so I could actually find them in the days before you could get them on the phone. But it's lovely to have. That's nice, isn't it? What a nice little gift. Only $6.49 as well. Nice together. Nice little matching set as well. Quite like the two together. But that's really cute, isn't it? It's nice to have these little accessories that are pretty, so that when you get out your crochet, you think, oh, a little purse. It's lovely. Should we have a little discount? Because I love it so much. Can we? Take £1 off. Yeah. Where did that come from? But the problem is I keep throwing it away, this big plastic, and it keeps returning. It's boomerang plastic. I know, I can't get it off my fingers. I've got it on the floor now. It'll probably come back in a minute. £5.49, £1 off. Never reduced before. This is the day. Get this one in your basket. Get it checked out. I like that. I love your blouse, Rebecca. Did you make it from Julie? No, I didn't. It's actually a dress. It's a full-length dress. Well, not full-length, just below my knee, actually. I didn't make it, but I love the sleeves. Look at those. He looks even better when I do that. I love a big sleeve. Love a big sleeve. Although the only problem is my arms are a bit short, so I think that they should probably look more like that. But when I put my arms down, they look more like that. But thank you very much. I wish I'd made it, because then I could make another one in another fabric, but sadly I bought it. Yeah, you could use this bag to store your... Oh, so I put it in my pocket. Funny that. Instead of your pocket, you could use it. Yeah, it's amazing how that went in my pocket. I reckon Hannah knew I'd done that. Went, Where's the tape? You could put all your machine feet in that. You could put your tape in that. All sorts. You know, or, you know, you could use it for just a small sewing kit that you kept in your handbag. Little pair of scissors, a small reel of black and white thread and some needles. If you've bought the needles in the last hour, you see, pack of needles, reel of thread, small pair of scissors. Oh, last hour. Gosh, that was this hour. Feels like more than an hour ago. I know that's in the last hour. Well, it wasn't actually. It was at the beginning of this hour. Feels like longer than that. But you see, you could have that as a little sewing kit and it would just look really pretty, wouldn't it? Anyway, there we go. I'll put that back in my pocket. Normally £6.49. Oh, can I do this one? Because I love these. These are for knitting, no crochet. Now, there is a difference. And I know a lot of people think you can use stitch markers. Stitch markers for crochet have to be clipped on. So they are, they have like little lobster clasps. But stitch markers for knitting aren't clipped on because they are threaded onto your needles and they're absolutely brilliant. And they are better if you've used the little lobster clasps for knitting. They're not anything like as good as these rings. So what you're doing, say you're doing like cable or fair isle, you've got to knit 5 and then do something else and then do a different colour, or maybe you've got to cable for 4. So that you don't forget, as you knit, you then thread this over your needle and then you carry on knitting. Then when you go back, you can see exactly whether you've done the right number. When you go back the other way, it's really easy to see them. Or maybe you've got to cast on 192 stitches. You could put a stitch marker every 20 or every 30, and it's much easier to count. But for knitting, you just thread them on your needle. They don't interfere with the stitches, and you just take them off as you go along. Don't use them for crochet, because you won't be able to get them back out. Because obviously, as you crochet, you keep doing it. So a lot of people for knitting will use the lobster class ones, but they're not as good as these. These are perfect for knitting. How cute are they? And they come in a little tin where the lid slides on. Meter stick, this is my favourite product. And I think because it's like proper old-fashioned traditional, it's also an amazing cost. Makes the best sound in the world. It's only $4.99, and can you imagine how complicated and expensive it is for us to post this? What I love about it, it's got holes in the end, so you can hang it up if you want to, so you can hold in your sewing room. But it makes the loveliest quilt hanger. So if you make a quilt that is no longer than a metre, and put tabs on the top, you can slide them across here, put 2 little nails in your wall, and it makes a lovely decorative quilt hanger, doesn't it? So if you're making, you know, small wall hangings, rather than having a dowel or a pole, it's brilliant for that. But actually, it's a great way. That's why, you know, when it's a metre long, and then it's 30, and it's a yard there. So you can see we've got imperial here, goes up to 36 inches, which is your yard. It's in 1/16 of an inch increments, and then in centimetres, in mil increments, up to a metre. But it's really good. That's why when you go to fabric shops, they always use these, don't they? Because they're much more solid. Obviously, the retractable tape measures can bend as well, but this is a nice solid. And it's only $4.99, and it's a proper old school wooden tape measure. Even if you just have it as an ornament hanging on the wall in your sewing room, it looks cool and it makes the best sound. Don't know why, I always have to do that sound. It's just lovely. Just a really good solid. Debbie's laughing at me now. Doesn't it make the best sound? Yeah. It's great. It's a brilliant thing. It's only $4.99, which I can't believe. So there's many reasons this is one of my favourite products. Right, talking about tape measures. Now, these tape measures I made Barry for Buy and Buy a while ago. Mainly this one, because I love a 300 centimetre tape measure. I've got 150 centimetres, which is great. But if you're making anything bigger, like if you're measuring extra wide backing, or if you're dressmaking, or if you're doing curtain making, having the longer 3-metre tape measure is brilliant. I'm going to take it out of this packaging so that you can see. Just because. It's a really solid one, and honestly, I get through a few tape measures, but it's got a nice, solid, retractable bit. Nice sound. So you've got inches and you've got centimetres, so you've got both. But if you are measuring anything that's more, I find with 150 centimetres, I use it for smaller items, but you never really want to pull it all the way out because then they sometimes don't go back in. But because this does the whole 3 metres, if you're measuring curtain drops or anything around the house, or if you're off to IKEA and you need to measure all your furniture, then you can use this. But I have 3 metres and I have the 150 centimetres, but this was something that I researched as well to make sure, because there are different qualities ones. I think the hemline one is a great quality. It's also quite easily to cover, but it stays out. It's nice, isn't it? Sounds nice, doesn't it? Look at that. So quick. Right, over 20 people baskets. Honestly, it's brilliant. And you can easily cover them as well, so they look really pretty. So that is the 300 centimetre one. It's really worth having this just because you've got that extra 150 centimetres. So when you're doing extra wide things, it just makes a difference having that. We've also got the same brand. I won't take that one out of its packaging. It does the same thing, but this is 150 centimetres. So it's 60 inches in length. Nice to have the two. I mean, it's only £2.99, that one. That one's £3.99. It's worth getting the set, to be honest. And we've done a few Amber Makes kits where you cover both of them. Yeah, we did have in our, we did have a pattern where it showed you how to cover both of them. So I have mine as a matching set. Because I use both of them. It depends what I'm doing. If I'm only measuring a small amount, I only want the little tape measure. But they are great quality. It does make quite a difference, I think, having decent quality tape measures, which is why I asked them to make them. I want to do this one next because I want to see how it works. Right, I'm going to be really quick. Right, the ruler lip. I think this is genius because when I want to cut something absolutely square, then what I do on my table, because I've got 2 of these really long rulers, I'll put one ruler one way and I'll put the other ruler the other way, and then I have to just try and make sure that they're lined up. But this joins them together. Ready? So if I push that one on, and then I push that one on, so this just means that you can join 2 rulers together if you want to join them at right angles, so you know that that's straight. Or if you've got 2 long rulers, say you've got the 2 24-inch rulers, and you want to have you want to be able to draw, say you want to draw an exact 24-inch square. If you've got the long ones, you can join them together, and then they're exact right angles. It comes with 2 as well, so you can make a ruler longer if you want to, and you could join together. If you've got 2 long rulers and you want to see that they're showing this picture, if you've got 2 long rulers and you want to join them together, you can just join them side by side to make them even longer, connect them and join them at right angles as well. I think that's genius. It's only £9.99. Quite a clever product, really. Right, let me just recap the tape, which is still in my pocket. Ta-da! Brilliant, absolutely brilliant tape. If you've only just tuned in, you won't have seen this. I've just demonstrated how to do it. It's amazing 1/4 inch seam tape. So if you stick it on your machine, you don't stick it under the needle because you don't sew through it. It allows you to have an exact 1/4 inch mark on your machine, which is much easier to see than the markings on the needle plate. It also means that you can sew half square triangles together or snowball corners or join binding strips on the diagonal without having to draw a line. Now, if you do lots of half square triangles, you will know how long it takes to draw all the lines. I do them all the time. I didn't even know this existed. If only I did, but I do now. It's only £4.99 and it makes a big difference. It's a low tack tape, like a washi tape, so it won't harm your machine. On the back of the packaging, if you have only just tuned in and you didn't see the demo, the back of the packaging does tell you exactly how to use it. And there are loads of demos on YouTube that I watched last night, so I know how to use it. It's brilliant. This is definitely a product that's going in my sewing basket, because this is going to save me loads of time, and it will be a lot more accurate than trying to follow the lines, particularly because it's like drawing a line down the whole length of your machine to a 1/4 inch seam allowance. And even if you're a competent sewer, you don't have to worry about that. Not having to draw lines for snowballing corners, half square triangles, flying geese, and joining bind strips is a game changer. So £4.99, it's brilliant, isn't it? And it's 10 metres, lasts you forever and ever. Well, not forever, but nearly forever, because there's 10 metres of it, and you only need like 10 centimetres at a time. More people have got this in baskets than we've actually got in stock, and we had hundreds, because it's a brand new product to us. We've only just bought it, and whenever we do, we always buy quite a lot of it. So loads and loads and loads in baskets. Charm packs, cool. The cool cut charm pack. So if you want to have a go at doing some half square triangles, or you've already got your tape and you want the charm squares to do it, 42 Kaffe Fassett cool charm squares. Aren't they lovely? With fossils. Big fossils. And little fossils. Lovely, aren't they? So these would make a beautiful, very, very simple and quick. Make yourself a little fun tote bag. Take on your summer holiday with you. This one would be great, wouldn't it? By the pool. Beautiful. And so easy to join together because they've all got pinked edges, so nothing will fray. So that's the cool one, $15.99. If you want the hot one, or if you want both of them, because they will go together beautifully, here's the hot one. Lovely. Pinks and purples, yellows and oranges. Only $15.99, and you are getting 42 5x5" squares in a riot of colour and print. We do need a bit of brightness on this frosty morning. Look at that one. That's super orange, isn't it? With poppies. Beautiful. Great price. Anyway, do get checked out on those. Thanks for joining me for this hour. I hope you've managed to get your seam tape. I'm going to see you in a few minutes after the break. We've got Debbie Shaw, who is going to be talking to us about her new templates, which are fab. Well, new as in they sold out the last time, so we've got them back in today. So check out, everything is available for pre-order. You can check out on the break. I'll see you with Debbie and her new fabric as well in just a few minutes' time.
Every day, our experts will bring you a wealth of knowledge. They'll take you through the steps of making projects, and we feature fabulous tips along the way. Whether you're new to sewing or a seasoned pro, you're sure to learn something new. We're live every day from 8 AM till 1 PM, and you can also watch back all of the demonstrations featured on the show on our YouTube channel.
Chain piecing is a method where you can sew lots of pieces of fabric together all in one go. It saves time and it saves fabric, and it's a little bit more accurate too. So when you want to sew chain piecing, I'm going to sew 2 squares of fabric together. They're only little, so I'm not pinning them. So just put the foot down, and I'm going to sew them together with a 1/4 inch seam allowance. Just stop a couple of stitches before the end of the first one and pop the next set underneath. I like to leave a little gap because it makes it easier to cut. Stop just a couple of stitches before the end and then pop the next ones underneath. If you leave a couple of stitches, those stitches will then stitch almost into the air and you can cut them off. But it means that you're not stopping and starting, you're not wasting thread, and you can have a nice accurate group of patches. Also, if you're doing this like a production line, it means that you've got them all joined together. So once it's finished, all of your pieces are now joined together into one long line, which you then just cut apart and you've joined them all. Now, if you're wanting to sew at an angle, maybe you're sewing half square triangles and you need to sew either side of a drawn line. So I'm going to position my foot, so I've got the 1/4 inch seam allowance. You can do the same thing. I'm going to sew 1/4 of an inch outside. Just stop a couple of stitches before the end, and then you can pop the next one in. I'm going to line up those lines and then stitch across, and you can stitch the next one in. So it's really easy. Just carry on stitching all the way along. You could stitch along the line, or you can stitch either side, depending on what you're doing. But it does mean that they're all joined together in one nice long line in exactly the same way. And it's quicker and easier too.
Missed a show on Sewing Street? Don't worry, you can catch up on all the action from the past week on our website. Just head over to sewingstreet.com and go to TV Guide and pick a day, then a show up to 7 days back from the Today tab. Looking for something older? Check out the Sewing Street YouTube page, where you'll find our full archive of shows anytime, anywhere. Stay inspired and keep sewing with Sewing Street.
Want to say hello or ask a question to our guests? Then send a message to the studio. You can also keep in touch with our social media pages. All the latest news, events, product launches, and much, much more. Search Sewing Street.
Welcome back to Sewing Street. I've got Debbie with me today. Hi,
Morning.
Debbie. Lovely to see you.
And you,
You're looking
thank
very
you.
bright and yellow this morning.
Thank you very
On
much.
this frosty morning. I think we need a bit of brightness, don't we?
Ice on the car this morning.
I
It's
know.
ridiculous.
I had to like spray it with the de-icer for ages. I know. I thought that had gone. Thought we were done with cold.
Well, and then you listen on the radio on the way over and they say, yep, January was the hottest month ever. Was it?
Where?
Where? Was
Where?
it?
No, it wasn't. It was freezing. That is a weird, isn't it? I know when they say things like that, you think, well, it wasn't where I am. So.
No.
Well, February's really cold so far. Anyway, nice, bright and cheerful morning. So we're going to start off with your templates today.
Yes, we've got them back in stock for you.
So last time you had them all sold out.
Yes.
So these are fab. So when you designed these, was there a reason why you did them and that you thought, oh, I'm going to use them for this?
Initially, it was the circle template.
Okay.
I use a circle. So much more than any other shape, rounding off bag flaps, corners on cushion covers.
Oh, of course,
So it's
yes,
not just
yeah.
drawing circles, but circles and hearts, the most difficult shapes to draw freehand.
Yeah,
So that's where it started. But then we moved on to the hexagons. I love a hexagon, I don't know about you, but for applique work, for patchwork, there's so many different projects that you can make just using one hexagon template. But you've got all of the different sizes. Then I thought, you know, if you're going to do hexagons, then they work really well with 60-degree diamonds. The 60-degree diamonds, of course, you could make your tumbling blocks out of those. You can make stars, use those on their own.
yeah.
But that also works really well with the triangles. And then you've got your half hexes.
Wow.
So you can just see there, you could create a really lovely patchwork design and then join it to a hexagon. Or you could just use these individually and make smaller items out of them. So they're just really
so many
useful.
different things that you can do with just this
Yeah.
one thing. So
Yeah.
if we start with the circle, so you get all the different... we start with the bundle of all of them. Oh, sorry. Right, okay. Right, got it.
So the hexagon,
Right.
half hexagon,
Sorry, I
diamond,
was confused.
triangle, and then you're getting 2 of the seam discs with this as well. So you can increase the size. Or
So
can
when
use
you
these
look
on
at
their
these,
own.
this is because I was confused to start with, it looks like these are white and they're clear, but that's just because they have a backing paper on.
Yeah, so peel that off.
Right, that just peels off and then it will look like this.
I would suggest with the seam discs that maybe you only peel one side off and leave the white on, because when those are completely transparent, particularly the little one, you'll never find them if you drop them on the floor.
That's true, and you don't need to be able to see the fabric through those.
No.
So
You-
in
you-
the hexie, you get
Yeah.
all of the hexagons inside here.
You do.
So you've got, you haven't just, because there's 1, 2, 3, there's 4. It's not just 4 because you've got both sides of each of them.
Yes.
So you've
And
got
you'll-
much more use then.
You'll find as well, it's easier to draw around the inside of a shape than it is to draw around the outside
Right,
of the shape.
I've got it,
So that
yes.
you will have the hexagon, I've lost mine, but you will have the hexagon that fits in there that you could draw around the edge, but it's easier to draw around the inside.
And the great thing is, because they're clear, you can then fussy cut, so you can put
Yes.
these on your fabric exactly where you want them to be.
Yep.
So in the pack, you get the 4 hexagons. So you get 1, 2,
Imagine number 3.
number 3.
Yeah,
imagine
lost that.
Number 4, that it will come like that.
Yeah.
And then how do these work then? The seam.
Then
discs?
you can increase or decrease the sizes of them. So, for instance, with one of the projects that I forgot to bring you, you'll need a piece of interfacing that's 1/2 inch bigger than that size. So
Okay.
it's not as big as the 4 inch, but it's bigger than the 3 inch. So if you use your seam disc and just run that around the edge of your template,
Oh, that's
that
magic.
increases the size. It does round off the corners, but that increases the size by 1/2 inch.
But you could use that with other things like rulers as well.
You
wouldn't
could.
If you've
So
got
if you've
normal
got
rulers, you
your-
could use this. That's really clever.
Yep, so if you've
Quarter
got-
of the stock has sold out of this already, just to warn you. If you want one of these, you need to get checked out because they all sold out last time.
So if you've got your own acrylic templates, you need some kind of edge to run them up against. But say I've got a 60-degree diamond here, I want to add a 1/4 inch seam allowance.
And you get both of these little discs.
You're getting both of those included as well. So you just run it around the edge of the template.
Amazing.
Really simple.
You could use that for all rulers and templates
Yep.
if you just want to add an extra 1/4.
Yes,
That's
absolutely.
fantastic. So you're getting 4 hexagons and the tomb seam guides.
Yes.
Also,
4 of the 1/2 hexagons, and again, they all match, so everything.
because you'll
works
need that if
together.
you're doing hexagons and you want a straight edge, you
Yeah.
do need that
Yes,
anyway.
yes.
But they make a nice border, I guess, if you flip them, so you can have one way the other way.
That's a nice idea.
And that would look lovely
Yeah.
around the edge of a quilt, rather than
Yeah.
just having a straight border.
And then your triangles.
Okay.
So again, that actually makes quite a large triangle if you use it with a
Oh,
half
I
square
see you
triangle.
join. Oh, right, yeah, of course.
And then if you join 6 of those together, you've got a huge hexagon.
And then this is what it looks like. Oh, can't get it apart. So you've got that big triangle, but it will become 3 little triangles as well.
Yes.
And the same with the trapezium. Is it a trapezium? that's
Half
right?
hexy.
Half
Half
hexy. Again, you've got the 4 sizes in that. So it's so versatile.
And your diamonds.
You're getting the diamond, the triangle, the half hexy, the hexy in 4 different sizes, and you're getting the 1/4 inch seam guide and the 1/2 inch seam guide. I mean, this is lovely. Like you say, tumbling blocks would be brilliant for it.
It just makes it so much easier. And again, you can increase the size if you wanted to as well. So if you wanted a larger tumbling block and add a 1/4 inch seam allowance or a 1/2 inch seam allowance, just run your disc around the edge of it. I love tumbling blocks.
Oh, they're
I
so
think
clever, aren't they?
It's one of the cleverest and simplest
Yeah.
designs, I think, for patchwork.
And it's amazing, isn't it? And it just grows. And as long as you get
Yeah.
the fabrics, it's gorgeous,
Yeah.
isn't it? I can't believe this is an amazing price. And because these are all like laser precision cut,
Yes.
it's going to be right,
Yes.
isn't it?
I mean, you can run your rotary cutter up against the edge of them as well. Just be careful because your fingers are going to be quite near to the edge.
Yeah.
But yeah, use your rotary
But you
cutter,
can use
draw
them for
around
rotary
them.
cutting,
Yeah.
or you can just draw. Obviously, they don't. I mean, I'll show you. They don't. This is what they'll look like when you take the paper off, because you want to be able to see them through.
Yeah.
Just so you can see them. This is how they'll come to you.
That's how
You
they
just
come.
see-
We don't do fancy packaging.
You don't need fancy.
Nope.
But they
no.
don't really need fancy.
It goes in the bin
packaging.
anyway.
Well, that is
Yeah,
true.
they will come like that. Protective film, bit of mask and tape, holding
Yeah.
them together.
But that's all it needs, doesn't it?
Yes.
Because you're going to just take them all apart and take all that off. The templates are great for all crafting projects, quilting, EPP, fussy cutting, papercraft, and teaching shapes. Love them from Susie. Oh, thank you,
thank
Susie.
you.
They
Yeah.
are. I think
She's
they're
got
absolutely
these.
brilliant. They are great because you've got one shape, it becomes another shape, and becomes another shape. So when you put like the triangles, that becomes even, and with the trapezium diamond, it becomes a different shape again,
Yeah.
doesn't it?
I mean, even that as a border, you know, maybe a little one around the edge of a quilt would look really nice. Just play with the different shapes of them. Might be an idea if you haven't used anything like this before to cut some out of card first.
Oh,
and just
okay.
play with it, piece them together, see what designs you can come
And
up
see,
with.
yeah, because it creates more and more shapes,
Yeah.
doesn't it? I think it's a great stash buster because we've all got loads of little bits of fabric.
Yes.
And if you wanted to put a border on something, and you think, oh, well, I could just use that one.
Yep.
And I can join them all together. You could make an amazing medallion quilt just from this one
Yeah,
set.
yeah.
Because you can get all the different ones. Only £25.99. Please be quick to check out on these. When Debbie bought them last time, completely sold out. Don't want you to miss out this time, and they are flying out, so be quick. Right, circles next. Your favourite shape.
Oh, it is. I say use a circle template more than
Well,
anything.
and I guess because I'm always, when I'm drawing corners on bags, I'm drawing around like a cup or a plate. I'm in the cupboard going, now, is that plate? No, that's too big. I've just smaller plate.
You'll never have exactly the right size. I contemplated writing a book once called Pantry Patterns.
Yes. Yeah,
because I knew the size of every egg cup, every saucer, the sellotape reel, exactly 3 inches across the centre. You just get to know exactly what those sizes are. But you can guarantee you'll never have the exact size.
No, it never is. I was drawing out my tape measure the other day to get a circle, but then I had to keep leaving a bit for where the tape measure came out. So this is the answer, isn't it?
Yep, this is where it all started. So this again is with the protective film off. You will have the guidelines on the centre marks. These are the ones that I've been using, so that was a bit of a prototype. So these will have the quarter marks. So if you wanted to round off a corner of a bag flap or a cushion cover, you can just draw around the edge there. But you've got the quarter marks there so that you can make sure that that's
that's really useful, because when I do it, I measure on my fabric, get my plate, or whatever it is, and then just drew it on there. Let me just move you over a bit.
Oh, okay. There
we go.
Yeah.
But with those marks, that makes it a lot easier.
Yes, and even half circles, just put the line against the edge of your fabric, and then you can draw around those, make half circle shapes.
And if you're using them for the bases, you've got the quarter marks on. So if you're sewing a circular base in, you can mark the quarter points before
That's a good
you even
idea.
do
Yes,
it.
never thought about that. And again, you do have your little seam discs as well, so you can make those larger or smaller by 1/4 of an inch or 1/2 inch.
And they both come with it as well, don't they?
Yes, well, the centre one is the 1 inch one, so that's a 1/2 inch. So you just get one extra little disc with that one. But the centre's got the hole in it, so you can run that around the edge like you would do.
It's brilliant,
normally.
absolutely brilliant. Only £12.99. These are selling fast as well. We're on single figures of the circle one. We didn't have as many, but we are on single figures when everyone's checked out, so you need to be quick with this one. Right, let's do hearts. I love the heart ones.
It's a good shape.
It is a great shape. It's a brilliant applique shape, isn't it?
It is, and it's got
a nice heart as well.
It is a nice heart.
A fat heart.
It's nice and full. This
full.
is
You said full.
It's a full heart.
It is, but it's a cute heart, isn't it?
Yes.
You get sort of like shaker ones that are sort of long and skinny, can't you?
Oh, we've got some of those coming.
Have you? Oh, but I think I like fat hearts.
Well, I like the fat heart because this is a 45-degree angle, so you can put 4 together, and you've got like a 4-leaf clover.
Oh, that's clever.
With this one, I just put 2 together. So that's how they join together, just made a little needle case.
It only looks like a cloud.
It does actually, doesn't it? It does.
Together to make clouds.
But again, they're really simple to use. You get your seam discs with this as well, so you can make them bigger.
Oh, okay.
But it's a nice shape if you are making hanging hearts.
Yeah,
Certainly
because
made
you've
this
got
one.
all the sizes.
You've got all the
there.
right sizes.
Again, this is a brilliant scrap buster because you could make loads of these if you like make to sell. You could fill them with lavender, couldn't you? And
Yes.
You've got all of those hearts. Brilliant.
Yeah, heart bunting, heartfelt.
Heartfelt. Fat
Sorry.
heartfelt. Full heartfelt. £12.99, and you're getting 4 hearts and the seam guide.
The two
the
seam
two
guides,
seam guides,
the
the
seam discs as well.
1/2 inch
Yeah.
and the 1/4 of an inch. Yeah, we're on really low single figures of that one, so you need to be really quick with that. So I'll let you know as the show goes along what we've got in stock of the templates left, but be quick because they are selling out just like last time. Right, let's talk about jellyfish.
Yes.
Jellyfish. Yes. So you've made this amazing jellyfish bag. It's gorgeous, isn't
It's cute, isn't it?
It's really cute.
A little bit different.
Do you love jellyfish?
A beach bag or... Yes, actually. They're fascinating, aren't they?
They're the weirdest things
Aren't
because
they?
they're like sort of translucent and then they
Yes.
just sort of float along the water.
Yeah, and quite deadly.
Yeah, I know. You sometimes see them on the beach and you think,
Yeah.
But they are amazing, like almost ethereal objects, aren't they?
Yeah, we just thought it went really well with the fabric panels.
So this
as
is
well.
your new fabric design.
Yes.
Gorgeous, isn't it? And we've got panels, which I'll show you in a moment, but we'll just go through the pattern first. So it's a lovely bag. I like the fact that you've sewn them down the sides. It gives it some really nice shape
It's a good structure to it, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a lovely structure.
And it's a nice size bag. It's got a patch pocket on the inside. You could add more, of course, if you wanted to, put some on the outside as well. But it's a very simple bag.
Yeah, so you've got the patch pocket on the inside.
Yeah.
It's a lovely shape. And because of this structure where you've sewn that, it just makes it sit
Yeah.
really nicely. Yes, it would be very good for your laptop, wouldn't it? Take
Yep,
to school, take
because
to
you can
work.
make the straps longer or shorter if you wanted to as well. So it's a good basis for a bag if you wanted to add any more.
Yes,
features
so
to
we've
it.
got the pattern for it. So, you know, if you want to make the jellyfish bag, because it's so lovely, you can. But if you want to leave off the jellyfish and you want to put something else on it, or you just want to use it as a basic pattern
Maybe a
to use
heart.
your stash,
Yeah.
or maybe a heart, could be a heart, couldn't it? Or a hexagon. Or a hexagon. So we've got rather than kitting them, we're doing the panels and the instructions separately. So these are the instructions for making it.
Yep, and there's the pattern on the back for
the
actual jellyfish.
So
shape as
these
well.
are the printed instructions. So if you buy these, £9.99, you will be sent these as a printed instruction leaflet in the post. It's got everything you need to know, loads and loads of photos.
Yes.
'Cause there's such-
I like instructions where I could follow the pictures without necessarily
yeah,
the
so
words.
you can actually go, oh, okay, so I'll go that and that
Yeah.
and that and that, and then I'll read the words if I need to.
And it's quite handy being married to a photographer.
It is, yes, actually. Very useful. Good planning. Good planning.
Oh, yeah, I thought so.
You say, sorry, are you a photographer? No. Oh, well, off you go then. Off you go. Next.
Are you a chef? Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah, no, considered. Yeah, yeah. Or have you got a really boring job that's of no use to me whatsoever?
Oh, bye.
Yeah, no chance then. So a photographer is actually quite a useful one. It's got all the instructions that you need. It's got all the materials as well. This is the sort of bag you're going to use it time and time again. You might put the jellyfish on one of them, but not on the others. It depends what you're going to do with it. Only £9.99. It's a very useful but stylish because it's got. I like the seamed edges. It gives it a really finished.
And wouldn't it look very different if you made it in denim or a tweed? Would look
that
really
would
nice.
really nice.
Maybe add a flap to it if you wanted a bit of security.
Yeah, tweed would be lovely for
yeah.
a laptop case, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
What does it have inside it?
That one is just a craft fleece, so something like H640.
Oh, okay. But it still has really good structure to
Yes.
it, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So that's the printed version. Now, if you want to download it because you want to get it made this afternoon, it's normally immediate. Sometimes it takes a couple of hours, but it's normally immediate. So you just pay this, it will go straight into your account. You can download it, and then you can start making it straight away. But it's interesting. Some people prefer printed, some people download. And you don't even need to print it out. You might, if you want to do the jellyfish, you'd need to print out that
Yeah.
template. But other than that, you can just look at it on your
Yeah.
laptop or your computer.
Yep.
Or your laptop or computer, same thing. Or your iPad. Really useful, though, because then you've got it at home, and it's the sort of thing that when you've got these instructions, you think, oh, I just need to make... Or I've bought somebody a book for their birthday. I'm going to make them a bag for it to go
Yeah,
in,
that's
and
a
you've
nice
got those
idea.
instructions.
Yeah, you can never have enough bags. And, of course, if you're selling things as well.
Well, these sort of bags, when you've got... Because they look so finished.
Yes.
You've got these, they look nice. What is your angel policy?
Please sell anything you make.
Yeah, just don't sell the instructions.
Go make some money.
Yes,
That's my
make
ethos.
them, sell them, give the money away, make them for charity, but don't sell the instructions. That's the only
That's
thing
very
you can't
bossy.
do. I know. I don't want them
Bang the
selling
table
your
and
ins-
everything.
I don't want them selling you instructions. We just have to be quite clear. I think sometimes when you say the angel policy, you think no, you can make things and
Yeah.
sell, but not the instructions.
Yeah.
Please don't. They take
Yeah.
Debbie a long time.
We know
to
where
do
you live.
these. Right, now the fat corner panels. So there are two fat quarter panels. The one that Debbie used to make this actual bag. Now, we've called these blenders. These are beautiful. So how did these designs happen? And I'm always really interested in the design
This is my
process.
daughter's design.
Oh, did Kimberly do these?
Yes, she did. I don't know where she got the idea from. But it was... we're thinking summer, you know, it's so blooming miserable outside and cold. So I'm thinking about white sands and the sea lashing onto the rocks and the seagulls and ice creams and everything summertime. But they're not typical like seaside colours.
No,
They're not your
but they
beachy
are warm
blues
and
and
summery.
reds. Yes.
So you've got the 4 fat quarters. Well, they're bigger than fat quarters.
They're big fat quarters.
Fat quarters.
Obese quarters.
Fat quarters. So you've got the lovely duck egg blue in the background of this one with all the shellfish.
It's a nice size design as well. So if you are making smaller pieces or you're doing some English paper piecing, you want to fussy cut those.
Oh, that's true. They come up quite small. So all these beautiful shells and starfish, gorgeous. I love that. And there's some beautiful colours in that with all the pinks and the purples. Then you've got the same print. It's a little bit smaller, but on the pink background. So again, really good.
But it's a really classy colour pink.
It is
It's
nice,
not baby pink.
No, it's not at all.
Sophisticated. It's a sophisticated palette.
It's a posh pink. And be good for like little covered buttons because they're so little, aren't they?
That'd be nice.
Really cute, wouldn't they? But they're just the right
the little
size.
cardigan for a little girl.
Yeah, you'll have even if you make the bag, you'll have little bits left over, so you can use them for that. And then you've got the coral. I mean, I love that. The colours are gorgeous, aren't they?
Yeah, I just love the colours. I think the colours are just beautiful. Again, they're not bright and bold. They're very...
Yeah, so on the bag, let me show you. So this fabric, the one that I've just shown you at the top, that's the one that's on the bottom, that's on the back of the bag.
Yeah.
It looks really lovely, doesn't it? And then we've got that coral on the sides, and then the blue one is used for the lining. So it's really coordinated.
Yeah, and you can make the complete bag just with one.
Okay,
with one
so it's
panel.
$19.99 for the whole panel. You've got 4 extra large fat quarters. So the fat quarters are actually 70 by 50 centimetres. So they're the same width as a normal fat quarter, but much wider. And the handle is in the pink one. So it's really nice that you can use just that one panel. Oh, I turned the jellyfish has disappeared. Oh, I wanted the jellyfish looking at me. There we go. But I think it's lovely that you can make the whole bag and line it as well from all of that. That's a beautiful design. So that's the blenders one. And then you did another one as well.
I got a bit carried away.
Did you so many things? Oh, I can't decide. Decide which.
So we do both.
So we had 8 of them. So this is the other one. Now this is lovely. If you've bought the other one, the blenders one, this blends beautifully with it. It's the same colour palette with really coordinating prints, but it's just bigger, this one.
It is. It's upside down.
Oh, it is, isn't it?
Yeah, it's upside down.
Couldn't wear that
That's
upside
right.
down.
No, no, no.
Yes, it's upside down, though.
There. So this time, you've got the different kind of fish on there, but you've also got little seahorses. A seahorse would be an amazing husband because they give birth, don't they?
They do,
Yes.
yeah. I
Yes.
think that's a really good idea. They don't take
a
photographs.
good husband would bear your children.
Yes, a decent one, yeah. We have very many requirements. A useful
Photography,
skill.
chef, birth.
Yeah, I'm liking the chef idea. My next husband will be a chef.
Does your present one know this?
I haven't mentioned it. He doesn't need to.
Maybe best not to.
No, he's at work. He'll never.
Oh, okay.
He'll never know. But you know, you need to think ahead, don't you?
Well, you never know what's going to happen.
You never know. You just need to think ahead what your requirements are.
Plan for the future.
Well, one of the greatest life lessons I taught my daughter was you can fall in love with anyone. Make him a rich anyone. She said that was very shallow. But I didn't think it was But I don't think that was shallow. It was a really sound piece of advice. And then you can choose whether you make the jam for the rest of your life or not. And it's nice to have that choice, isn't it?
Life lessons.
Oh, I know.
With Rebecca.
Don't know whether she's followed it yet or not, but I'll let you know. So this one is, and again, this is a very grown-up purple, isn't it?
Yes.
I love
yes,
that.
It's not,
and it does it makes all the sea creatures really stand out. Okay, it's quite ethereal as well, aren't they?
Yeah, I love the colour. I like this one. I've got turtles, and I've never even noticed that one. I've got sea turtles, an octopus, jellyfish on that one.
And the print has come out beautifully on this. There's a really great definition. I mean, the turtle is gorgeous.
Yeah, I mean, even the little
face,
the tentacles on the octopus, the details really.
Well, it's the sort of fabric that you might use, like, you know, for a bag on pieces, but you'll have a little bit left over.
Yeah.
And really worth keeping because of the little details in it.
Yeah.
And then the fourth one. So the bag you could make in either. I mean, it's worth getting the instruction, getting both panels.
Yes.
Because actually, if you wanted a beautifully coordinated bag, you could line it with this. But if you used your own plain fabric, you've got a lot of bags.
Yes.
With both of them. So this one is $19.99. So this is the big sea creatures, and then the blender one and the coral. but you can see that all of the colours and the designs, it all matches up. So it's quite a nice. So for $39.98, you get 8 fatter quarters if you get both of them.
It'd be nice to coordinate your garden furniture for the summertime, wouldn't it?
Oh,
Seaside
beautiful.
theme.
Well, because you could make one garden cushion from each
Yes.
one, couldn't you?
Yeah, easily.
And then you'd have 8 if you bought all of them. Yeah, that is so lovely, isn't it?
Yeah.
Be nice to make like a travel set from, or...
Or you could theme a bathroom, maybe.
Oh, yeah, that's
See what
true. Yeah,
accessories
very
there.
bathroom, isn't it?
So storage boxes or drawstring bag to hang on the back of the door to keep your towels in or your laundry. And
It
things
is
like that. Loads you can
beautiful
do.
fabric. I do love the colours, and the print definition is so good.
Yeah.
Where you can see, you know, all the details of everything. Lovely. So $19.99 for each one. The instructions are available to either send printed, or you can download and print at home if you prefer. Depends how you want to do it. We always offer both versions because people are very specific one way or the other.
Yeah, I'm all for a download.
I am, because
To
I'm
be honest.
impatient.
Well, it means you get the instructions straight away and you're not paying for diesel on some
Yeah.
lorry delivering it to you.
Yeah, and then sometimes I will print them myself, just because I want them printed. But the times
Yeah.
I just read them, it depends what you do. But it means you don't never lose them as well.
Yes,
doesn't
that's
it?
true.
And I am very impatient as well.
Yeah.
Once I've decided I want to get going straight away. So, but then other people don't want to, so it's entirely up for you. We've got both options there. Right, Hexagon. So you designed another fabulous design, the Hexagon storage box.
Yeah, this is actually quite a big box. It's using a 4-inch hexagon from the panel that we've got. The actual hexagon box, I've lost it. See, I showed it on my live stream yesterday, and I don't know what.
I know.
happened
Well,
to
I've
it.
seen pictures of it.
Yeah,
I've seen it. It
and I-
definitely exists.
I really wanted to show you because it folds flat as well. So there's a picture of it. That's folded flat, you see. So if you're posting it, it only goes into an envelope. But it's just a nice, quirky, unusual design. But it's about that big.
Right, it's about that big.
About that big.
And what do you keep in yours?
Mine would be sewing notions. You
Yeah.
never have enough storage for sewing notions.
You're very good for thread, wouldn't
but
it?
Yeah, thread's brilliant. But you could keep your jewellery in there. It may be things like cotton wool buds or hair accessories.
Yeah, that's true.
So, it doesn't have to be just sewing stuff.
Well, again, nice in the bathroom, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, posh bathroom.
And it lends itself to a bit of decoration as well. On the one that I was going to bring you, if I can find it,
seems to have
I
lost.
just put some beads around the lid, but you could put a button and Suffolk puffs on there, maybe some tassels or something.
Okay, it
Make
is
a
lovely.
proper little trinket box.
So you've used the hexagon panel that we're going to show in a minute for
Yes.
it. But you could you use the hexagon template?
Yes, because the hexagon panel is 4 inches and the hexagon template, the biggest one, is 4 inches.
Okay.
So your template makes it easier to cut out your hexagons and to cut out a smaller piece if you're going to put some interfacing behind it as well.
Right. So what the instructions for this one are $8.99. They're normally $9.99. Pound off.
Yeah.
Go with
Sale.
it. We don't. Yes, it's a quick sale. $8.99. $8.99. Do take advantage of that. So I'll show you the panel in a moment that Debbie used for it, which you can use, but you could also obviously use your own fabric. We've got digital print at home PDF instructions. Deborah says, I love the hexagon storage box and can't wait to get the panel. Thank you, Debbie. It is gorgeous,
thank
isn't it?
you.
Beautiful.
Thank you. I just
Let
wish
me
I'd got one to show you.
I know. Things happen. Things happen. The things I've lost, honestly.
Really?
I know. Don't know. Various things.
Well, if you're driving down the M42 and you see a hexagon at the side of the road, it's probably flown out of my car
Yeah.
this morning.
If anyone sees one, could you please
Yeah.
return it?
Yes, please.
Right. The digital download is $9.99. Yeah. I don't know how. We've obviously made a mistake, but because we've made a mistake, it has to be $8.99. So, so up to you. But the $8.99, but the printed one is less expensive for some reason. Don't know why. But there we are. Must have something happened when they put the numbers in, but we'll go with it. Anything to save £1. Right. Now, this is the panel that you used.
Yes.
Obviously, you don't have to use the panel. You can use your own fabric. But if you want to have a beautiful one. So how many hexagons did you use to make it?
16.
Right. And how many are on here? Let us see.
44.
44. Wow. 41. 41.
40-something.
40-something. So you can make quite a few with this.
Yes, or placemats. If you wanted to do some quilt as you go, a little bit of hand sewing, big English paper piecing, or just treat it as a whole piece of fabric. I made a little apron behind me here. That could be full size.
That's so cute.
So don't worry too much about, it's a hexagon, so I have to make something that's hexagon shaped.
Well, they're all bordered anyway.
Yeah.
So they look lovely. They look like they're sewn together.
Yes.
So, you can just use it because you've just cut it off.
Yeah.
Can we see the apron? Or shall I just bring it down?
Careful you don't bring that down on your head as well.
Okay. Hannah. Have we got, did you take a photo of the apron? No, it's all right, I'll just show it here then. Right, there we go.
But that could be, that's for a child.
It's getting lost on there. Look how cute that is.
You could make that full size and maybe do a patch pocket on the front, fold the top down.
With one of the other hexagons.
With one of the hexagons, yeah.
The colours are lovely on this.
They are, aren't
really
they?
soft.
Yeah.
I think they're gorgeous.
But there's a lot they'll go with. I've used lilac, but a pale blue would look really nice as well, or even the teals, the greens. So if you've got plain fabric in your stash, you're bound to have something that'll go with it. But you could equally well make a quilt. Just quilt it. Put a backing on it, and your wadding. I'd keep the shape around the edge as well.
Oh, you
I think
could,
that's
yes,
quite
'cause it's
sweet.
beautiful, isn't it?
And then just quilt that. So make a lovely lap quilt. Tablecloth, maybe, if you are theming your garden or your bathroom or, bedside table or something like that.
Yeah, you could make a lovely runner, wouldn't it?
Yeah, yeah. And actually, if you're making a table runner, maybe just go for, like, that one, and do a strip.
Yes.
Instead of the whole thing, if that makes sense. Or,
you could just
like flower shape.
Straighten it up, couldn't you?
Yeah.
That's beautiful. Only $17.99, and it's really big as well. But the colours are very just soft and gentle, but you've got that real sort of depth to them. I like the fact this one's got, the black background and the navy. But they are beautiful. And the borders look lovely. It really gives them an outline.
Yeah. Yeah, and I love the colours. I know we're talking about it a lot, but when you think about Seaside things, you think about royal blue, bright yellow, bright reds, and this is Seaside things, but it's a grown-up version.
Yes, it is a grown-up, posh version.
Yes, a bit posh.
It's National Trust Seaside, isn't it? I think it's lovely, really lovely, and I think the borders really make it all stand out. So obviously you can use this to make the hexagon boxes, and you'll need 16, so you can make 2 boxes with this.
Yes.
This one panel. Or you can make other things, because you've made a placemat here.
Yeah, I was just playing with... Yes, just playing with hexagons to see what we can make. If you have a look on Pinterest and places like that, there are some amazing projects that are fun to make as well. There was a little thing somewhere. If you fold over the edges, then you get a different shape, and you can create a star shape in the middle. It's just...
Oh, here it is.
It's a really nice... Oh, it's on the floor. It's just a nice shape to work with. And these kind of things can be joined together, maybe use a zigzag stitch on your sewing machine if you didn't want to.
Oh, so just flat join them.
So, and just...
That's so clever, because you've got like a hexie with a starfish in the middle.
That's true, yes.
Looks really good.
But that could be a whole set of, dining placemats and coasters, and then maybe join some together in the middle of your table, so you've got a nice little table runner there as well. But hear your mind ticking.
Yeah, I know. Well, I think this is fab, because you can just make it bigger and bigger and bigger, and the hexie shape is always so attractive, isn't it?
Yes.
And it works really well. And if you've got the hexagon storage instructions, $8.99. Don't know what's gone wrong. We've obviously put the wrong price in. They should be $9.99, but you will pay $8.99. You will pay $9.99 for the PDF download ones, but you will pay $8.99 for these. But then if you buy the panel, you can make 2 of the storage boxes, and you'll have some left over as well.
Yes.
Which is brilliant.
So you could have your storage box sitting on a mat.
I know. I think they're really lovely. Really lovely. But definitely... I know, I think there's a lot of you taking advantage of our little pound off special saving mistake. But definitely worth thinking about. I think it's really clever to use all the colours. I mean, or maybe you've got the fat quarter bundle, because that obviously works. All of these fabrics work really well together. So if you've bought the Hexy one, obviously this works. See, beautifully well all together.
It's a nice collection, isn't it? It's a bit different as well.
Exactly. It was gorgeous colours. So structure in the bag. We've got some Bozel here.
Bozel would be absolutely fine, and the same for the storage box as well. I
Right.
used a Decaville Light in that box, but you could easily use...
Okay, because that squishes down
yes,
as well, doesn't it?
yeah.
So this is single-sided fusible Bozel, which is a foam interfacing, $13.99 for half a metre, which is going to be enough for your bag and for the storage box. But it will just give you that extra structure, but still allow it to fold up. But it's a single-sided fusible that all you do. But you get a lot, because it's quite wide.
You get a lot. I use this so often for bag making, because it's easy to sew through as well.
Yeah, weirdly.
So sometimes I'll trim back to the seams, a lot of the time I'll just sew through. So although it's about 1/4 of an inch in thickness, you don't need anything special for it. It's really easy to sew.
And you don't have to clip it all off. You can just sew all the way through it.
All the way through the seams. It'll come to you creased up because it'll all be folded, but if you just give it a blast of steam on your iron, all those creases just drop out. Same as when you're actually using it. If you're making a bag with it, you'll be turning it through at some point. It'll crease. And it may lift away from some of the adhesion on the back, but just go back over it with the steam from your iron and it'll re-stick itself back down and the creases drop out.
Fabulous.
It's an amazing product.
Well, it gives structure, but it folds as well.
Yeah.
It's really, but it bounces back. It's strange, isn't it?
Yeah.
I never work out how it works. But the single-sided is ideal for this because it doesn't need to be stuck both sides. So are you going to show us how to make this?
Yeah, I just thought
It's really clever.
it's really simple. It's ever so quick.
It's
and
like,
I just thought I'd show you.
is it like a log cabin hexie?
Yes.
Is that a thing?
Yeah.
Have I made that word up?
That'll do.
That'll do.
And then it's got like a grown-on binding
Okay.
from the lining as well.
Right,
That's
I'm going to
really,
move all the
really easy.
templates because they're all in your way now for your sewing
Okey-doke.
machine.
Well, I'm going to use the Hexagon one. Whoops, I'm just going to
Oh, do you want the hexie one?
drop that on the floor down there. Okay, so I'll sort all those out. So there's your panel. Oops. I've also cut some 2-inch strips of fabric, and I'm going to use some of the fat quarter as backing for it. So let's just move that out of the way. And choose which one of these I'm going to use. So let's go for this one with the octopus on it. So I'm going to use my largest hexagon because it's the same size. So just place that over the edge. And again, if you're using a rotary cutter, just be careful because your fingers are going to be quite near the edge. And just cut out the shape. Need one of those rotating mats.
So the hexagon templates that Debbie's using to cut out with are in the on screen at the moment, $25.99. You obviously get all of them. You get the half hexie, the diamond, the triangle, and the hexie in 4 different sizes, and you get the 1/4 of an inch little seam disc and the 1/2 inch, and we have fewer than 20 left.
Oh, you had twice as many of these.
I know. We have fewer than 20 left, so you need to be quick.
Okay. I'll try and bring some more next time. They just take a few weeks to actually have manufactured, so I'll try and get them.
Parts are sold out.
Right, so that's that cut out. What I wanted to show you as well, just briefly, if you're using these for the storage box, this is Decaville Light that I've used. Again, it could be Bozel, it could be either of those, would be quite easy. You'll need to cut out your interfacing slightly smaller. So the next size down on my hexagon, if I use that in the centre...
So if you've got the templates, you've got it all there to do anyway.
You've got it there anyway.
Measure and mark.
But that's too small. So I need an in-between. So what I would do is take my 1-inch circle template, which gives me a 1/2 inch seam allowance, and then run that around the edge. Yeah. Again, it does round the corners off, but that doesn't matter because you can cut those out square. And then that gives you the in-between size
Okay.
of the 4 inches on the edge. And then
You're
the
getting
3
like
on there.
8 hexagons with this.
Yeah.
Because you get all the in-between sizes as well.
But that's how I made that a little bit smaller. I just wanted a 1/4 inch smaller, not a whole size smaller, if that makes sense. Okay, so I've got some 2.
So is that because you don't want it in the... because it won't be flat?
Yeah.
Because of it being a table mat, got it.
So I put the interfacing on and then they're all bagged out and then hand sewn together.
Right.
You won't be able to get some of the seams underneath the sewing machine. You'll have to hand sew them.
Okay.
It doesn't take very long. Okay, so let's make this a little bit bigger. So again, these are 2-inch strips. I'm going to start sewing a little bit down here so that when we go all around the edge, I can tuck that side into it so that everything is kind of continuous. And if I sew from that side, I can see where the 1/4 inch seam allowance is because that's the border. So let's just pop some of those on. Ever so quick.
Those are brilliant.
There you go. So.
And I guess you can make it then as big as you want.
Yeah. Well, you could just keep adding the lines to it. Where's my needle up? Oh, there we go. Oh, no, it's not. There we are. You've got a machine that you're not used to using. So I'm stopping a 1/4 inch from the side. And again, I can see that because I can see through the fabric. And let's fold that out, open it up. And trim it off wider than you think you're going to need it because we're going to overlap these. So that's going to go like that. And then that goes like that. So these need to go all the way across the fabric that you just put on there.
Right.
So again, flip it over. Sew from the side that you can see through, just into the corner. And we'll do that on all 6 sides. It's sometimes just nice to have something quick.
Yeah, I know. It's great to have like a really big meaty project, but then sometimes you think, oh, I just can't face it because it's like taking so long.
Yeah.
You just want to have an afternoon where you make something just really quickly and it's all done and dusted.
Or it's quite nice if you've...
Do you want to iron that?
Yeah. If you're teaching kids how to sew, they can be a little bit impatient. It just means that you've got something
Oh yeah, that's true.
that
It's
you
quite
can
nice.
you can make and
Don't mind
finish.
doing the ironing.
But it's
Like that.
yeah, yeah, that
Is
will
that
do.
okay?
And then the next one.
Yeah, this is really good for something to do with children as well,
Yes,
isn't it?
yeah,
Because it's achievable and be a nice thing that they would want to own as well.
yeah, and something that they can gift if they want to give something to grandma or granddad that they've made themselves. It's going to be something that's useful.
I don't know, I'm doing your ironing. I always like doing the ironing. I don't mind this sort of ironing, you see. It's quite pleasant, isn't it?
Yeah, laundry's a different matter.
Yeah,
isn't it?
yeah, we don't do that. Maybe that's what we need to be looking for in a husband.
Yeah,
Somebody
that's
with an ironing business.
photography, ironing, chef,
Yeah.
rich.
Rich.
Okay.
It's not much, is it? Maybe we can start a dating agency, Debbie.
Yeah.
Called Husbands You Actually Want. .com. Yeah. I think we'd have many people, clients, or that we could have on offer.
I think you'd be inundated.
Yeah, I think we'd have more requests than gentlemen to offer. I think it's a marvellous idea.
Right.
It'd be quite funny, wouldn't it? You imagine like asking everyone what they wanted. I think the list would get even longer. Right, there we go.
Only 2 more to go. We're not far off now. It's a little bit repetitive, but
No, but it's not too bad, is it? But it's enough so that you remember the process. Because if you only ever do something once,
Yes.
you're never going to remember it.
It's just sewing straight lines, really.
I
It's
know, it's great.
most
Isn't it? And then you
entertaining
just need
thing.
an ironing friend to just help you out, you see. I like the ironing bit. There we go.
And then the last one I'm just going to tuck that underneath the first one.
Ah, okay.
So that goes there. Oh, I'm pressing all the wrong buttons. Down you go.
I know, but you get used to a machine. See, my old machine, the foot didn't lower on its own, but I was fine. And then my new machine, it did. And then I was just using the other one again, and I've completely lost the muscle memory of that one. Because you forget, don't you? You just get used to
Yes.
what you have to do.
So I've got 2 Jukies at home, and they've programmed the foot pedal.
Yes.
They both do different things.
Oh, do they?
Yeah,
Oh.
that gets very confusing.
Why have you got 2 then?
Because I have one in my studio and one in my office.
Fine. But if they're programmed differently, do you do different sewing in one place than in the other?
No, I just never got around to programming.
Oh, okay. I was like, what is the sort of one that
No,
you do
there's
one with and one that you do the other one with?
No, just they're heavy and I don't want to carry them from one end
No,
of the
well,
garden
that's
to the
fair
other.
enough. I have several sewing machines. Only because when I get a new one, I can't bear to get rid of the other one, so I just keep them. I keep getting new sewing machines. Okay, all done.
Right it. So let's trim this down. And
Do
to
this
make
iron
it square.
out of the way of you.
So just trim off the...
And the panel that Debbie's
edges.
using in the centre is the Hexi panel. It's the one that's on screen. Brand new today, 40, I think it was 40, was it 41?
41.
41 Hexis for only £17.99. You can make 41 placemats. So when you have 41 people over for dinner...
I haven't got 41 friends. Okay, so that's
41, have I got
those.
41? No, not 41, I don't want to have for dinner. I'm just thinking, yeah, 41. Yeah, I don't think I haven't got a table big enough.
Don't run out of bobbins, right? No, I only filled it up a second ago. So I just need to sew over that bit. Missed it for some reason.
That's quite a nice technique though, isn't it? Where you start halfway along so that now joins on.
Yeah, so it all kind of goes round in a circle. Then we'll need some backing fabric for it. So I need to cut this about 1 inch bigger. So let's pop that there, and we'll go for that one.
And this is using the blender fat
Let's go for the
quarter.
dark
That's the one that's on screen at the moment.
That one.
For a beautifully coordinated effect.
So this time, again, I need to cut this about 1 inch bigger so I can create a border around it.
Oh, okay. So you're not binding this then?
No, it's self-bound.
Clever. I've been happy... I've got to read this one. I've been happily single for a long time, but I'd like to sign up to your new agency, please. Great, Debbie and Rebecca. From Leslie. Yeah, no problem, Leslie. Just tell us what your requirements are, because obviously we have a few specific ones, but please do join. I'm not sure we'll have anyone that will fit the bill. No, I don't know whether we're going to find anyone who fit the bill, but we might.
Yeah, just let us know
Because
your
to be
requirements.
honest, all ladies will be able to sew.
Yes,
Won't
yes.
they? They'll all be able to sew. And that's a great bonus.
Right. So
So there won't be any bother because they'll always be in their sewing room. Won't be any bother. In fact, best left alone.
yeah. Right. That's not sewn again. Oh, anyway. So if you want to put a little bit of insulation in there, you'll need to cut that to the same size as your hexagon.
We have the Insul Bright on the website, which has this amazing mylar silver spacesuit stuff in it
Is that what it is?
that keeps it hot and cold, depending on your requirements.
Is that one of your husband's requirements, hot and cold? Or just hot?
No, just hot. I was thinking, what would I want cold for? Yeah, can't think what that would be. Maybe in bed. I hate being hot in bed. Not in that way. I mean, temperature-wise. I don't like sleeping with the radiator. You know, you get so hot in bed with other people. Let's stop talking about bed.
Okay. So we're going to fold the edge over once and then over again.
Okay. So it looks like it's bound.
Yes. And give that a press. And stick a pin in it if you have any pins. Oh, hold the line a minute. I'll put some clips in. So I shan't sew all around it. You'll get the idea. But
Yeah.
whoops. Dropping clips. So a couple of clips in there.
So do you sew one side at a time?
No, I'd fold them all
okay.
and then sew all the
And
way
you just
around.
go around in one go then?
But when you come to the corners, you get that really lovely.
Oh, because you've cut it
Yeah.
in the hexy shape, it miters all by itself.
Yes.
That's genius.
Love a mitre.
Love a mitre.
Love a mitre when it
And that's a
works like
genius
that.
mitre.
Isn't it?
Because you haven't got to do any funny folding for that.
Nope, just happens. So again, that over there, and just go all the way around with it. So again, it's just really quick, loads of fun. This
Yeah,
could
so
be-
simple. And I guess depending on how many, if you keep going with the strips,
Yeah.
so you can
just-
make it bigger and
just
bigger
gets
and
bigger
bigger.
and bigger. And it is kind of a quilt as you go kind of technique. So if you wanted to do two and then join them together, this is already
okay.
quilted. And you maybe sew around the inside here. You could quilt all over it if you wanted to.
Oh, so you'd like do all the binding and then quilt it afterwards?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
So much easier then. You haven't got like kind of worrying about everything shifting and layering because
Nope.
it's all done together.
It's already done.
That's a lovely little idea. So if you get the hexy panel, you can make 41 of them. Or like you say, you could join them all together. If you put a board around each of them, you could join them all together to make quite a big quilt then. Especially if
Yes.
you put several borders around. There's so many things. you
Yeah,
can
and
do
if
with
you
it.
if you're new to quilting, it's a great technique because you don't have to put the whole thing underneath your sewing machine.
Yeah.
So if you're short on space, then you're only quilting that area at a time.
And then join it onto the next one.
Yeah.
Brilliant. Oh, you'll have loads of fun with this. Only $17.99 for 41 hexagons.
Yeah.
Absolutely perfect. Right, so we now need to talk about your bags. We're going to move. Oh. Right, I'll move over to this. Yeah, let's go over. Right, the Burly bag instructions. So this is the Burly bag.
That's the one.
Right. So tell me about the Burly bag. It's a lovely shape.
This one,
Quite a posh bag, I think.
I think it's a really classy
Yeah.
style.
Yeah, it is.
It's big
a lovely
enough,
shape.
you know, if you're going out in an evening or you're going to a wedding or something, that you can fit your purse and your phone and, you know, a bag of bourbons or something, whatever you're taking with you.
Yeah, fig rolls.
But this was all designed around the clasp, so
I always see, but it's lovely because it's got that. It's light, nice and deep inside, isn't
yeah.
it?
It's only got a patch pocket, but you can obviously add more if you wanted
love
to.
the clasp.
But I just wanted the clasp to really stand out.
It really
on it.
does, doesn't it? I mean,
Yeah.
this is something you could make for a very special occasion
Yes.
to match an outfit, even if it was plain.
Yeah.
But you could make it to really enhance your outfit, and what a lovely shape as well.
And if you don't have the clasp, you want to make the bag again. There's no pattern with this; it's instructions.
Right.
So if you're downloading, you don't need to
Okay.
print. But you could use a magnetic snap
Oh,
or a
yeah, that's
button
true.
instead. These don't tend to come with instructions. Working on that one. So you do have the instructions on how to fit it. What I like to do is actually glue this on as well. Get yourself some HT2 glue.
Okay.
Because even if you, you'd normally cut out the centre all the way through and then poke a hole where the screws are. And even if you do it properly, it's going to move around a little bit.
Okay,
it
so
just will
glue it
do.
on as well.
So, and what I've done with that, instead of poking the holes, I've actually cut around the screw holes. So much easier than trying to fit a tiny little screw through wedding
Okay,
fabric.
but it does really. I mean, and because you've got that bit, it makes it look really posh, doesn't it?
I love hardware on a bag.
Oh, I do love hard.
Even-
I like feet. I've never put feet on a bag, but
Have
I
you
love
not?
them. And I don't know why.
Bag feet, yeah.
Because I love them.
But even a D-ring, and anything metal on a bag gives it a shop bought look.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it? Like really, really lovely. Now we have actually got the gold bow lock. Look at that. So if you want to buy the lock Only £5.79. That's obviously both bits, not just one half. Get both bits with that.
Quite a statement piece.
It really is, isn't it? But I think with that sort of hardware on, it's really visible and lovely, isn't it? So when we first launched this bag, because we've got the instructions and we've got the bundle. So we've done the instructions. So the fabric for this, it sold out last time. This is a lovely fabric. It's like a canvas, isn't it?
It is, but it's actually a polycotton.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. It feels like canvas. It looks like canvas. It's actually a printed texture, so it looks.
Because it looks like linen.
Yes, yeah, and it's really good and strong. And I know these are pre-cut pieces, but if you wanted to cover the seat of a dining chair with it, that would look amazing. And it's non-directional as well. And with the bag, I did kind of fussy cut to some extent the rose in the middle, but it's not necessary. I think sometimes with a big print, it looks odd if you've got like half a flower coming in.
Yeah,
but it doesn't with
so
this
something like the front, the flap you would, and then the rest of it wouldn't matter. So this is 80% cotton, 20% polyester, and you've got half a metre of claret with it, which is a different colour we did last time, but it still goes.
Yeah.
So it meant that we could do more bundles with this. £9.99. £9.99, is that for both of them? Wow. £9.99, so you get half a metre of the claret, that's the Rosalie Hubble cotton, and you get half a metre of this beautiful canvas. Whoa. Right, the picture on the web is not very good at all. Because
Oh, that looks really small.
It looks really small, doesn't it? It looks like a tiny print. This is what it actually looks like.
Yeah, it's a lovely big print.
And one bundle's enough for the bag?
Yes.
That's a great price, £9.99. I mean, you're going to make that. I would get the clasp, though. I mean, you don't have to, but I would.
I would while you've got
nice,
them. I just think they're really, really classy.
We've got lots of clasps here, actually. We've got other colours as well. So have a look on the website. If you go onto sewingstreet.com, click on Watch Live and scroll down from there. We've got all of the other clasps because we've got other colours as well. Silver is lovely. I like that one. That's like almost sort of gunmetal, isn't it?
Yeah, that's gorgeous.
Because when it looks black and then it changes colour, doesn't it? See, look. Lovely. Worth getting. Like those. Right. There's another, the Person Cosmetic bag, which is worth getting because then you can make the matching.
Yeah, and with these.
Show me these.
Well, I made the purse. I made both of them actually, but I made the purse, and then there was some fabric left over. So I thought, we'll do another project. So
is this all from this one?
No, you'll need another.
You'll need another set of fabric.
Yes. But again, the purse is simple. I did demo this in the show on the 22nd of how to actually fold that and put it together, because you've got these little pockets on the inside as well.
That's nice.
I do like to be organised. And
so you get loads in there.
Yeah, and it fastens with a clasp, like so.
So that's great for like travelling or a holiday, but if you've made the bag for a special occasion, you can get everything in there.
Yes.
Don't you?
Yeah.
Confetti.
Yeah.
You can use a confetti purse if you're going to a wedding. How cool would that be? Never, ever see the last of it, though, would you? It'd be in that purse forever and ever and ever.
Yeah. Like your Christmas tree pine needles.
And glitter.
And yeah. And then you've just got a really simple cosmetic bag.
Oh, lovely.
As well.
So we've got the full instructions for the Person Cosmetic bag. Again, $9.99. You'll need another bundle buy the same bundle of fabric, and then you can make a whole matching set.
Yeah.
So $9.99 for the instructions, and we have got the digital download. So you can download everything today, and you could be making it this afternoon. Obviously, if you want to make it in the same fabric, you have to wait to get that. But if it's lovely to have these patterns in your pattern library, because you can use them over and over and again. And every time you make them in a different fabric, they completely change, don't they?
Yeah, and isn't it nice to have, your handbag and your purse to match your outfit?
Oh, absolutely. I think that's gorgeous. Right, here's the fabric bundle again, just in case you want to buy, because you'll need two, one for the bag, one for the purse. Over half of the stock has gone. So, yeah, there was only 11 of those left. Oh, no. Yeah, well, everyone's checked out. There we go. Look at all that. So you'll need one bundle for the bag, one bundle for the purse and the cosmetic set. But worth having, because that is an amazing price. Right, just show you the physical instructions for the bag. The Burly bag, a brilliant set. Use the bundle to make one, and then it would be brilliant to have, because you can make it, if you make it in denim, it's a completely different bag.
Cork, faux leather.
Cork,
Look
yeah,
very
cord.
different. Yeah, oh yeah.
Printed needle cord,
Oh,
one of my favourite things.
is it?
I don't know why, just love it. Love printed needle cord. Does it have interfacing?
H640, I've used
Oh.
with this one. You could use the Bozel foam, you could use
Okay.
Decaville, doesn't really
I
matter.
think it works really nice because with the H640, the structure, because of the
Yes.
fabric, isn't there?
Yeah,
But not too stiff.
yeah, easy to work with. It's a really simple style of bag. And again, there's no pattern with it, so you don't need a
Okay.
printer. for
Right,
that
so
one.
you can just read it out.
Yeah.
But it's lovely. It has got a really nice structure to it. And then if you want the digital download, we've got that as well. Oh, yes, one more fabric bundle. I like this. So this is the same fabric type,
Yes.
but different colour and different theme. It's gorgeous. 80% cotton, 20% polyester. So we've nice, it was like a kingfisher peacock blue.
It's gorgeous, isn't it? And this does lend itself to a little bit of fussy cutting. So that, I think, would be the flap.
Oh,
in front of the bag,
definitely.
with the clasp on there would
Yes.
be really nice.
Oh, that would look fab, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Really cool. So I'm going to choose that one. Yeah, how nice would that be?
Yeah, that'd be
For
fantastic.
the flap, that would work beautifully,
Yeah.
wouldn't it? But the colours on this with the teals and the oranges, and then you've got leopards.
And even, so the background, this is actually printed to look
It's
like
amazing
linen.
because it looks like linen, doesn't
Yeah,
it? It's
but the
printed.
flex, you know, when you see a slub on
Yes,
linen,
yeah.
this is printed on to look like that. You would never know that was polycotton.
No, it's beautiful.
Yeah.
I think it's beautiful, and also this is the lining fabric that's been chosen for it. Look how stunning that is.
Yeah.
Because I think it's lovely when you open up a bag to see that sort of pop
Yeah.
of colour, and I think
Yeah.
that will look lovely inside. So if you've got the pattern, get both bundles. You've got two lovely bags. Maybe you made it from the last show and you want another bundle, but make one bag and give one bag to somebody else.
Much my jacket, actually.
Yes, in fact, it would really match your outfit, yes. You need to make one. Right, we're going to go for a quick break, but we'll see you back here at 11.
Okie doke.
Stamps.
Stamping, yep.
Stamping.
Fabric stamping.
I know, they are gorgeous. They are already going. So Debbie's designed a whole host of stamps that you can use for applique, embroidery. You can use them for paper if you
Yep.
want to. But they're brilliant for sewing.
But
And-
in my mind, they're for sewing because I don't do paper
No, I
crafts.
don't,
But
I
I
don't.
do have some samples that my team have made, which are amazing.
Fabulous. So they're coming up at 11 with Debbie. So do get checked out on those before we get there, and then you can just sit back and enjoy the show. I will be back here in a few minutes' time with Lucy, who's going to be demonstrating some fabulous makes that she's done. You're going to absolutely love these. Got lots of different patterns, all different things. I will see you back here in a couple of minutes' time.
Never miss a show by watching on the go with the Sewing Street app. Head over to your app store now and search Sewing Street and simply download to your smartphone or tablet. You can watch the shows live and see your favourite presenters and guests. Click on the Today button to shop all of the products that are featured in today's show. Want to know what's hot? Then click here to see today's bestsellers and highlights. Have you missed a show or want to watch one back? Then click the schedule button and you can go back 7 days to watch and shop, and you can also see what's coming up over the next 7 days. Want to say hello or ask a question to our guests? Then send a message to the studio. You can also keep in touch with all the latest news, events, product launches and much more by clicking here for our social media pages. Never miss a show by watching on the go with Sewing Street.
A little tip for when you're measuring yourself, either for making a pattern or for buying shop-bought clothes. Take a piece of elastic, because it's really important to find where your natural waistline is. All you do is you just tie it around yourself. Doesn't matter how tight, because it's not going to be a waistband or anything like that. You just tie it around your waist, like that, and then leave it for a little while and move around, do a bit of exercise, do a bit of housework, do a bit of tidying up. And when you come back, right, this will be in your natural waistline. So if you're drawing a pattern, every single line emanates from your waistline. And if you're buying clothes, you will get your natural waist size. For example, this is my natural waist and I measure 41 here, but I buy 36 jeans. So which one's right? Not the 36. My natural waist is a 41.
Our UK-based call centre is always on hand to assist you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
Keep up to date with what's on Sewing Street, as well as all the latest news and special offers by signing up to our email newsletter. Go to sewingstreet.com and scroll down to the bottom of the homepage. Type in your email address and click the envelope. That's it. You'll never miss out on the latest news and special offers ever again.
Shopping with Sewing Street couldn't be easier. You can shop via our website at www.sewingstreet.com, where you can watch our live shows and see all the products from that day. We also have a huge amount of products on our website, from your sewing room essentials to fabrics, sewing machines and much more. You can download and shop on the go with our Sewing Street app. Simply head over to your app store and search Sewing Street. Alternatively, you can contact our UK-based call centre 24 hours a day on 0800 001 4433. Shopping made easy at Sewing Street.
Looking for the perfect gift for the sewing enthusiast in your life? The Sewing Street gift card is just the thing. Choose between a physical card delivered to their door or a convenient e-gift sent straight to their inbox. It's easy. Just head to the Sewing Street website, scroll to the bottom of the page, click Gift Cards, or use your smartphone, scan the QR code and go straight there. Pick the amount you'd like to load onto the card, and that's it. The Sewing Street gift card, the gift of creativity made simple.
Every day, our experts will bring you a wealth of knowledge. They'll take you through the steps of making projects, and we feature fabulous tips along the way. Whether you're new to sewing or a seasoned pro, you're sure to learn something new. We're live every day from 8 a.m. till 1 p.m. and you can also watch back all of the demonstrations featured on the show on our YouTube channel.
Here at Sewing Street, we only charge one P&P throughout the day. You can add as many items to your basket and check out and still only be charged once. Once you've checked out the first time and want to order again, you simply add the item to the basket and click on the Combine Order button. Remember, standard P&P is £4.95. Charges may differ for outside the UK. Or upgrade to our premium option for £6.95 on certain items. Shopping made easy at Sewing Street.
Never miss a show by watching on the go with the Sewing Street app. Head over to your app store now and search Sewing Street and simply download to your smartphone or tablet. You can watch the shows live and see your favourite presenters and guests. Click on the Today button to shop all of the products that are featured in today's show. Want to know what's hot? Then click here to see today's bestsellers and highlights. Have you missed a show or want to watch one back? Then click the schedule button and you can go back 7 days to watch and shop, and you can also see what's coming up over the next 7 days. Want to say hello or ask a question to our guests? Then send a message to the studio. You can also keep in touch with all the latest news, events, product launches and much more by clicking here for our social media pages. Never miss a show by watching on the go with Sewing Street. Head over to your App Store now and search Sewing Street and simply download to your smartphone or tablet. You can watch the shows live and see your favourite presenters and guests. Click on the Today button to shop all of the products that are featured in today's show.
Turning tools are one of my favourite tools. They are perfect for turning tubes of fabric the right way round. So maybe you're making bag handles or straps, or you're doing small rouleau loops, absolutely perfect. So if you've got a piece of fabric here, I've sewed it in half, right sides facing. Turning it right sides out takes quite a long time. So what you need is a turning tool. If you take the tube of fabric, tack it together across the end, it just holds it together using the longest stitch, and then you just get the plastic tube, put it to the end, get your stick and push it in, and then it turns your tube right sides out really, really quickly. It's genius. Simplest thing, but absolute genius. Now, in these turning tool sets, you get different sizes. So that's the big one. So if you were using a narrower tube, then use the next size down. Now, when it's a short tube, I don't tend to tack the end. You can just fold the end in and push it through like this, and that will turn that right sides out. Look how quick it is. And if you're doing really small loops like this one here, there's even a smaller one as well. So if you just slide the smaller tube inside, then the smallest one comes with a little metal stick instead of a wooden one. But look how quick and easy that is to turn right sides out. Saves you loads of time. When you get your set of turning tubes, do make yourself a little bag, just a little drawstring bag to put them in, because otherwise they get separated, and it keeps them all nice and neat and saves you so much time. Welcome back to Sewing Street. So we had to swap all the desks around and it took a bit of time. Anyway, so I've got the lovely Lucy with me, who is now feeling a lot better after she's been poorly lately. And she's got two brand new products. Now, this is gorgeous. This is called the Poppin bag. Now, obviously, Lucy's made this in gorgeous, it's beautiful pink fabrics. It's ideal for new baby or nursery, but it can be used for any room in the house. So it's got Bozel in it, which gives it a really nice structure. It's got these side pockets, which have got pleats in the centre, so you can get absolutely loads of them. Pretty pom-pom trim. And then a drawstring across here to hold it. So, Lucy, she was just bending down. What was the idea behind designing it? What did you want it to do?
Well, I actually designed this bag a very long time ago, and it's just been sat in a corner doing absolutely nothing. I say I designed it, I made it, and I made it just for fun at that point in time.
Right, okay.
And then as I've been decluttering and having a tidy, I came across it and I thought, do you know, actually, I think that's a really nice bag. And I'd made it in Peter Rabbit fabrics at that time. And I thought, I think that'd be lovely for a nursery. I mean, you all know I'm a knitter, I love to knit. So I'm going to use it in more sort of homeware kind of fabrics and throw my yarn in it.
Yeah, no, it'd be brilliant.
You know, there's really big projects, you know, when you're working on a jumper or something, it would go in there. But equally, I think that it's really good for stashing baby toys in it, nappies, your wipes, everything that comes with having to look after a little one.
And then this pulls to close.
If you want to. Now, to be honest, I put the cord in for feature, not for function. Okay. And I called it Poppin.
But it would close if you wanted it to.
It would indeed, yes. But it's got a really nice structure. I called it Poppin because you can pop in anything.
Well, you could use it in the bathroom, couldn't you?
You could, yeah, absolutely.
There we go. Toilet roll.
Yes, beautiful toilet roll holder.
Because it would be more attractive than having that plastic bag on
and blankets. I have blankets everywhere in my house, but just to roll them up and just...
Yeah, and just pop them inside.
It actually makes it like an attractive piece of furniture.
Yeah, and I guess it's just the fabric that denotes what you're going to use it
Absolutely, yes, yes. And I think that fabric, that Guess How Much I Love You, is just beautiful.
So the fabric, we've got a bundle here using the fabric that you've actually used for the bag. So in the bundle, full instructions. It's from the Guess How Much I Love You range. It's a proper official fabric. So you get 1/2 metre of this pink. Isn't that beautiful? I love the fact it's got these line drawings. It's not too baby, but it's just pretty. So you can't make to sell with these because it is official fabric. So when we have things like this that are licensed, you can gift, but you can't make to sell. Then you get 1/2 metre of the coordinating strap. I mean, obviously with the pattern, if you make it in any other fabric that's not licensed, then you can. 1/2 metre of this one that's got like little dandelion heads on, and 1/2 metre of the spot fabric. It's so pretty, isn't it? And full instructions. So obviously the instructions walk you through exactly how to make it, full photos, the cutting table, everything that you need to know for making it and constructing. And you've also got the full templates on here as well, so that once you've made the one from your kit, you can just make them over and over again. $39.99 for that. So you're getting full instructions and 2 meters of this licensed official Guess How Much I Love You fabric. It's beautiful, isn't it? But if you were doing like a baby shower and you're doing a hamper for it, you could fill it with all the items for that.
My testers actually have, they were telling me about how they've got 2 lady friends who are both expecting. And they said the same thing, with all the things I'm bringing you today, there's very much a baby theme in mind. And yeah, tremendous bundles, whatever you're making. And you can use these fabrics all across all the different makes and just have joy with it.
It's gorgeous, isn't it? Absolutely love it. So that's the bundle, $39.99 for that, where you get 2 meters of the Guess How Much I Love You fabric and the full instructions. Now, I've also got it available in another colourway. Now, this is the one that Lucy's going to be demonstrated with, so you'll be able to see it in action. Now, this is obviously, this is more of a grown-up look, so just to show you how different it can be if you're not doing it with baby fabrics. Beautiful. Liberty. Look. Love that one. That's a beautiful mustard shade, isn't it? So this would be great for, well, for storing your yarn, for storing your sewing projects, putting your fat quarters. You get loads of fat quarters in there, or loads of wool. Or you could use it if you wanted to for other storage in other rooms in the house. All Liberty fabric. So you've got the white on white print. You've got this pretty floral print. You get 1/2 metre of each, so you can choose which fabric you put where. It's up to you. And you get the full instructions as well. So $39.99 for your Liberty basket. I mean, these colours are beautiful.
They're timeless. They're absolutely
they are,
stunning.
Very classy.
Yeah, without a doubt.
Love those. Right. Now, if you want to use your own fabric, obviously you will need 4 1/2 metres of fabric. Physical instructions, so printed instructions, $9.99 on their own. So if you want to use up your fabric stash. Good morning, ladies. I'd love to make this for my grandson to keep his cars in with car fabric. Oh, that's such a good idea. Is it beginner friendly? I'm loving the show, Rebecca. Thank you, Gillian. Is it beginner friendly, Lucy?
I would consider it beginner friendly, yes.
Okay.
Yes. I mean, there's things, if you wanted to eliminate elements, then you could. There's no reason to have those cord channels. Like I said, I use them for the pretty factor. If you don't want to do that, omit it.
Yes, if you don't want it as a basket.
Yeah, if you don't want to add the pom-pom trims, don't add it. So there's ways you can, you know, play it down a little bit if you wanted to. But we're talking about straight lines and 2 circles at the end of the day.
But yes, if you... Pattern ordered from Fran. Oh, Fran, that's brilliant. I think this is a great thing. I mean, depending on what you made it in. So if you made it in a car fabric or like a denim fabric and then a car lining.
Beautiful.
It'd be great for Lego or wooden bricks, wouldn't it?
And it's a substantial bag. I mean, the thing that we need to really get across is, if you have a look now at how tall this bag is in relation to yourself.
Yes,
Rebecca,
look how big it is.
It's not small.
See?
It's not small.
Tanya says, good morning, our Lucy. I've bought the Liberty to use in my caravan. I can see me making quite a few of these.
Brilliant. Hello, Tanya. Well done.
That's true, actually, yeah. There's just loads of different things, because it's just a nice big storage bucket, isn't it?
It is. That just stands really well on its own.
Angie says, I've been planning to make a storage bin to pop all my fabric scraps into.
Yeah,
So
perfect.
it could be like with me with some fabrics, like my Liberty fabric, I keep every last square inch of it.
Yes.
You could put it in there, couldn't you?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it'd be brilliant.
Or the selvages. I collect selvages as well.
Yes.
They'd be nice to put in. You
Be
get
really nice,
Lots,
yeah.
lots. It all depends on what you're going to do with it, and it's a lovely gift for somebody as well. Morning, Lucy, Rebecca. I love my Poppin, and I'm storing my dressmaking fabrics that are washed and ready to sew in it at the moment. From Danielle.
Ah, Danielle's one of my testers, so thank you for that, Danielle. Her picture is on the fans page, and hers looks absolutely beautiful.
I mean, it would look amazing, like in cords and tweeds.
Yes, well, hers in greys and mustards.
Oh,
looks
nice.
very classy, very. And it's I would call it gender neutral.
Right.
Really nice.
Yeah, it just depends. It is all in the fabric
Yes,
that you choose.
yes,
isn't it?
absolutely, yes.
So it could, I guess you could eau de coat it, couldn't you?
You could eau de coat it. There's sprays you can use if you want to waterproof it.
Or you could use a PU, a ripstop.
You could use
lining.
ripstock on the lining. What's really nice about the way I've suggested you make this, obviously it's not verbatim, you know, but whatever fabric I've used on the inside, I actually used it around that trim on the outside. So you're seeing all 4 fabrics there.
Yes, oh, I see what you mean. Yes,
you're
so
getting
like
good
you
sight
see
of
the
them.
lining fabric's the same there. But if you put a ripstop inside, then you could have it. You
Take
could
it to the
use some
beach.
things. Jeanette says the Poppin is gorgeous. Mine will be holding all those offcuts of wadding that I never know where to store.
That's a brilliant idea.
Order
isn't
in
it?
Love Netty. That's true, isn't it?
Brilliant
I have
idea.
loads of them. Mine are in a carrier bag.
And do you know what
Very
else?
attractive.
Your foam. I never know how to store my foam. When I don't know how to store all the fleeces, when I've got offcuts of fleeces.
Oh, I know what would be good
Perfect.
for wrapping paper. Because I've got a waste paper bin that all my wrapping paper lives in,
Yeah.
just in the corner.
Yeah.
So actually, this would be brilliant.
Yeah.
You could make a Christmas one for all your Christmas wrapping paper, couldn't you?
Do you know what you could do? Christmas fabric, put your Christmas tree in it.
Yes.
Do you remember when you used to have to put them, you just put it in the pot, don't you?
Yeah, you do. Or you could use it for Christmas presents.
Christmas present.
Wrap it up, couldn't you?
So many ideas.
So many ideas, and I'm sure you'll all have loads of ideas. So, $9.99 for the printed instructions. If you prefer to download them. Oh, morning, Lucy and Rebecca. Pattern purchase ready to go for my new granddaughter's baby shower. Love Lucy's patterns, always so easy to follow.
Ah,
from
thank you, Sandra.
I think we do all gift things, don't we? And if you make something to go in it, it becomes the gift.
Yes, absolutely, yeah. If somebody had given me that when I was expecting and they just filled it up with nappies.
Nappies and chocolate.
Well, yeah.
You do need both. Don't you? But that's where you can do that. You can put something nice in like that.
Yeah.
Morning, Lucy, Rebecca. Mine are cut out. I'm making 2 for my friend's new grandbabies from Kathy. And I just think they're perfect. And it all depends on the fabric that you use, that what you're going to use. them for.
Definitely.
I mean, you could make one. My dog has got so many toys, I can't tell you. It's ridiculous.
Oh, yeah, yeah. I
Ridiculous.
can copy that.
And at the
for
end of the
sure.
night, I have to go around and move
Collecting them all. Yeah,
But
I thought I'd done
could.
it all with my children, but now I'm doing it with the dog.
Yes.
Yeah.
And they're always really crunchy, aren't they? 'Cause they carry them around their mouths and they're always in and out of the washing machine. But this would be a great thing for dog and cat
Definitely,
toys.
definitely.
There we go. So many different things. So this is on screen there. That's the physical pattern. Remember, keep it. You can use it time and time again. And then, you know, you can make it as fancy or as simple as you want. You can add all the pom-pom trims, tassels, whatever you want. You've got the full cutting table. You've got clear diagrams of exactly how to do it, how to make the pockets. You can put the pockets on. You don't have to put the pockets on. You can have pockets on the inside. You can have them on the outside. Have as many pockets. You can have zip pockets if you want to keep things hidden in them. It's very, very clear and exactly how to do, how to construct it. And you've got full templates there as well. Easy. And I presume these are 100%.
They are 100%, yes.
Cut them out, or,
Tried
well,
and
I would
tested.
trace them, to be honest.
I would trace them as
But
well.
what I would do, trace them on freezer paper, and then you can use them over and over again. You can just press them on the fabric then.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then you've got them forever.
Yeah.
Forever. There is a small queue on the phone lines, but we are aware of that, so please be a bit patient. So when everyone's checked out, we've sold over 100 patterns, so please be quick if you want to get yours. Now, we do have a digital download, because if you're like me, you are itching to get started and you know exactly what fabric you're going to use. It's in your stash at home. This is the digital download. You could even patchwork the fabric, join it all together if you've got smaller pieces, use that as one big piece to cut from. Or you could go really posh and you could make special blocks for it. But or just join, patchwork all your fabrics together, look amazing. £9.99 for the digital download. While you're waiting for it to download, which is usually immediate, because otherwise you can be getting all your fabric ready. You can have it made by this evening. It's a really good way of tidying up quickly and looking like your house is really tidy when it's not. It's just all thrown in there. You can put all your sellotape and packing
And
tape
sophisticated with that liberty.
Yeah, sophisticated tidying up with that liberty. So £9.99 for the digital download. It will come into your basket and then you can just print it out or view. You'll need to print out the templates, but the rest of it you can just view on your computer if you want to. I didn't think I needed this, but so many ideas made me change my mind. From Karen in Bristol.
Well done, Karen.
Anything that you've got stored in a plastic bag will look better than this.
It will. 1000%.
Good morning, Rebecca and Lucy. I'll make mine to go for my plastic bin to coordinate with my sewing room.
Lovely.
Now that's a good
Lovely.
idea, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. And the great thing to say about the fabric bundles too, and I mean, this may be obvious, but sometimes we don't realise the obvious. These are 4 half meters. So because they're all the same, you do not need to make yours the same as I've made mine. Just because I've chosen green for the main body of mine, you don't need to. If you prefer the busy flowery one, which you're not going to see much of in this one, then you can put the flowers here. You can put whatever you want, wherever you want. Okay.
So you can choose what you put where you want to.
Yes.
Loads and loads of but basically anything that you store in a carrier bag or underneath something or around the back of the sofa will look better in one of these. Use up all your scraps by joining them all together in one big fabric piece.
Beautiful.
Much, much better.
Beautiful.
So you've used Bozel?
I have, yes.
Inside.
Yes.
And how much do we need?
I'm trying to remember.
I'll tell you, I've got the instructions here.
It will say on the back.
You need a fusible foam a metre, an H640 half a metre.
Yes, the H640, if I may just explain the H640, in that sample there, I added H640 into the pockets just to give them a bit of substance. Now, the pockets are pleated, so if you feel like that might be a little bit bulky for you, then omit it and just make sure you interface both pieces instead.
Right, so the main basket itself is Bozel. Now, this is a half a metre piece here, but you will need a metre. So it comes cut, though. Comes cut to order. So that's what I mean. It won't come as 2 half metres. You'll need to put 2 units in your basket, and then you will be sent a whole metre, if that makes sense. So £13.99 for half a metre, but you will need a whole metre for that. And then it's entirely up to you whether you use the H640 wadding in your pockets or not. You don't have to, but if you want to, you'll need half a metre, and you'll need normal interfacing of half a metre. And is that for the pockets?
Yes.
Right.
Can I just borrow the foam a second?
You can.
I think that's an error. I'm just going to double check. I just want to be honest.
Just checking.
And
just
say,
checking. One moment.
Actually, no, I think I have written it down as a metre, but this is a half metre piece, isn't it, here?
Yes.
Yeah, look, it is going to be fine.
Oh.
Apologies, that's my error. I do say sorry for that. But yeah, I mean, it's kind of good news. You need half a metre, so.
Some foam interfacings are not as wide as others, so that might be the reason.
Oh, right, okay.
Bozel
Maybe I used a different, yeah.
Bozel is particularly wide, but you will get this one. You only need half a metre. Look, you just saved yourself £13.99. If you've already bought it and ordered it and you want to change it, just phone the call centre 0800 001 4433, and your card isn't charged till midnight. They'll be able to take that off. So
apologies for that.
There we go. So you only need, but you might have used, there is another brand that is narrower. And
yes,
more,
yeah.
so.
I mean, honestly, it's a kind of thing. My mum was up at my teaching hub yesterday and she said, I need some foam, please. I said, what do you need it for? She went, I don't. I just need it. I need to know that I've got it in my stash. And it's so true, isn't it? We never know when we're going to wake up and think, oh, I just want to make a quick something.
Yeah, and you need
just that little bit. So it is handy.
So £13.99, you need half a metre for this one. If you want to make more, you'll need more foam. Right, Lucy, where do you start?
Right, okay, now, this is great. So what I've done is, now, first things first, when we're cutting out our pieces, Please take note of what I've written in that cutting table. I've given you all of the information for all of your cutting, and there's a couple of pieces, which are the round bases, these bases, where I've said from remaining fabrics. So that means we're going to cut those out last, okay? So you can have a look around of all the bits you've got left over. So the bottom, you'll see on the sample, the bottom is not the same as the sides. You might want to just take pieces and strip them together, do it however you like, but make sure we get these long pieces out first. That's the important thing here, really. Okay. So the first thing we're going to do, or I've done to show you, in order to show you, is I've cut out the outer main piece, which is in this gorgeous minty green colour. And I have fused it into place, and then I have added this grid work. Now, I just want to show you, I think in the first hour, Rebecca was talking about the Creative Grids rulers. On most of these rulers, you're going to get some lines on them. You'll have a 45-degree line, 60-degree usually, and a 30-degree. All I do is I take any given point. It doesn't matter where you start along here, but in this example, to get the diamond shape, I've used the 30-degree line, which is down here. And all we do is we can line the 30-degree line up to the edge of our fabric. And when we know that that is straight, we can just draw, is it 30-degree or is it 45? Doesn't matter. The point is we follow the line and we're going to draw our line with chalk or a friction pen. From that first line, we're then going to work left and right. Now, the distance you create is entirely up to you. In this case, I have used a very wide 3 inches because it's a big space and I wanted to get it done a little bit quicker, and it could take that distance apart. In some other examples I'm going to show you later, I will show you where I've done it a lot smaller. But all you do from your first line is you line it up with your 3-inch marking here, 3 inches, and you'll draw your next line. You'll move it along, you'll draw your next line, so on and so forth. And then all you need to do is come back in the opposite direction and sew those said lines. Now, if you've used your fusible friction pen, you'll just get your warm iron and run over it all again to make those lines disappear. I've used white chalk, and you can see there's not a mark left on my fabric. I would use a walking foot on your machine, and I would extend your stitch length to somewhere in the region of 4, 4.5 or 5 millimetres. Give it a nice long stitch. A, it's going to sew quicker. B, you're not going to get missed stitches, skip stitches, otherwise known as. What else do I need to tell you? The reason why we use a walking foot is to make sure that we don't have a drag happen on the fabric, and it won't distort it. It'll keep everything nice in place. When it was all done, I did give this a nice little spritz of some starch as well, and just give it a final iron over as much as anything, so I know it looks nice and flat, but it also carries that lovely nice smell afterwards. So that's what we've done there. When that is done, we're going to take our pom-pom trim, and we will need some for the length of the bag. You'll notice with most of this bag, we're going to work on the flap.
So this is optional, the pom-pom trim section?
Absolutely. If you want to omit the pom-pom all the way through, ignore it. It's totally fine. Right. If you've got another embellishment you want to add in its place, then
but you can just, but if you want the pom-pom trim, we have got it, $14.99 for an 11-metre reel. Comes with the reel as well.
That's a brilliant price.
It is, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, $14.99 for 11 metres. That's a lot of pom-pom, isn't it? All comes on the reel, like proper. You'll feel like you're in a haberdashery when you get this. Right. But we've got it available in other colours. We'll just play those through. So we've got beige, pink and grey. But it's up to you whether you put it in. Obviously, for a baby, it's perfect. But if you're making it, you know, for more grown-up one, you might not want the pom-poms. Up to you.
Now, what I do is I lay it on top, so the top edge is going to be flush with my green row of stitching, and I'm just going to pop a few pins in just to secure it. What I tend to do throughout with the pom-poms as well, apologies, is I will remove my first pom-pom over here. I'll just snip it away. because I don't want the aggravation of it getting stuck
No.
in the seams anywhere. And, you know, if you want to keep hold of them, add
it
little eyes, draw some little eyes on it or something. So I'm going to just hold it in place for the
'Cause
remainder.
You could, before you did all this, the quilting stuff, if you wanted to personalise it, you could put their name on it, couldn't you? Or the name of what you're putting
You
in
could,
it.
that would be really nice, yeah.
Well, I guess you could do that after you've quilted it, couldn't you?
Well, like I say, we're mainly working in the flat on this bag, joining it together a little bit closer to the end. Do I keep hearing a horn?
Yes, I don't know what it is. Maybe they've got a horn on one of the other channels. Or do something. Is that? Oh, I think they've got manager specials.
Oh.
Maybe they're selling horns.
When this is sewn into place, we're then going to have an upper panel, which on that bag is the little spotty dotties. And we're going to sew that into place to complete the main parts of this. Now, I won't have time today, but when that next panel is in place, again, you might want to do a little bit of quilting to create a bit of texture. I think I did on that one, haven't I? I've just done some channels around it.
Quilting along it.
Maybe you've got some variegated thread you've never quite known what to do with that you might want to use.
I know, I tend to keep mine for quilting because it's the one, it does look really good.
Yeah.
On quilt.
Well, especially if you are making this for children's toys or anything like that. I always tend to think that when you're making children's makes, anything goes. It's time to bring out all the pom-pom and all the sparkles. They love it, don't they?
The printed physical pattern, the one that you get prints sent to you as a print, is really, trying to explain the difference, the actual printed pattern is really, really popular. It's flying out. Loads and loads of you got it in your baskets. Do check out on it. So there's the pom-pom trim.
Right, so that's all in place. So now we're going to add this beautiful mustard fabric, which, even if I wasn't making this bag, I would need this in my stash.
I know, I love that. Is it Emily Bell?
I think it is, yes.
It is?
It's gorgeous.
I'm going to do Liberty Fabric on Mastermind one day.
Yeah.
I wonder what would I be best at. I don't want to be Liberty or no, I don't know. What fabric would I be best at? I think I'd be quite good at this. No, because Susie Duncan would beat me because she's like the queen of Liberty Fabric. So I bet she'd have that.
I think my subject specialism would be, it would be pattern designers' names or names of patterns.
Really? That definitely no. I'll tell you what, I could have sewing needles.
Really?
Yeah, know a lot about them. But I could do Emily Bell. I love Emily Bell. Because in the lighter fabrics, the flowers are in a darker print.
Yes.
So you place this right sides with the top of there.
I am, yes.
See, and then that all then holds it all
And then
in
I shall
place.
sew it, and then it will get flipped upwards, and it should, all being well, meet the top, all being well. If it doesn't matter.
It's a nice edge, though, isn't it?
Yes. And then even if I don't do those lines of quilting, I will just pop some basting stitches around the edge just to hold it. If you don't want to do any of those things, just grab some of your 505 spray and just spray it into place, iron it into place, whatever it is you need to do to keep it there, really.
Yeah, but like you say, the quilting is very simple that you've done for this, even if you just did straight lines. And it does give it a nice detail.
Yes,
doesn't it?
yes.
And if you've never quilted before, this is quite a safe place to do it rather than a full double bed size quilt.
Yeah.
It's an achievable size to do.
And we are so, well, I know that personally I am the first one to be accused of never using those additional stitches we've got on our machine. And I was teaching a class the other day, and there was some applique needed that I would normally hand sew, blanket stitch. And somebody said, oh, do you know that these machines you've got have got a really nice blanket stitch on? I said, I haven't got a clue. And I set it up and I went, that's amazing. That's really, really good.
I know, I discovered that from Delphine because she uses it all the time. And I think the machine I had at the time didn't have that. And once I discovered the blanket stitch, it's gorgeous, isn't it?
I mean, don't get me wrong, Rebecca. I'm all for slow sewing, but there's a time.
Yeah, I know. I think the machine does a blanket stitch better.
Yeah.
It's so neat. And you can set it to different lengths and widths so it can look, you know, really chunky or really fine.
Yeah. I think people just need to be taught, really. You know, that's where I've got this lovely peep of the white coming through of the braid. We want to see that. You know, I think sometimes we think we need to cover it up. You don't. Let it show.
No, that's a
let's
bit of a
see
feature.
It is. It adds to it.
Yeah, see, now I think I'd be struggling now to choose the fabrics because first I was thinking, well, I'd have the Emily Bell across the main body, but it actually looks lovely as a border.
Honestly, me and my mum, we faffed. We faffed because we disagreed on the pockets. Didn't we, Mum? She'll be watching. We did disagree on the pockets, and we've gone with her request in the end, rather than my request in the end. So you will soon see those, and then you can decide.
Good morning, ladies. I just have to download this pattern. So many ideas. Thanks, Lucy. It's just what I needed from Diane. Well, Diane, what do you need it for? That's what we want to know.
Yes.
We've given you all of our ideas, but we'd like everyone else's ideas because there are so many things you can do with it, but everyone will have their own things. You see, if you put a ripstop in it, make a lovely log basket or kindling basket.
It made what, sorry?
If you put ripstop, kindling or log.
I thought you was going to say that. Get your kindling in
I've
there.
got a really nice canvas bag that all my kindling sits in. It's very posh because the kindling isn't. But it looks nice in its bag. But how nice would that be?
I wish I had the time to do all my quilting because it's so worth it. But I know that you guys need a bit more from me. So, the pockets. Let's make pockets. Right, so the jury's out now. You decide.
Yeah, so
we
this
do
is
want
not
to know,
Lucy's
though.
choice of fabric.
So if you don't
Just wanna
like
point
it,
that out now.
I'm not to blame.
Yeah.
My mum wanted the white. She loved the whites. So my mum got the white. Now, of course, I could have done a mix and match.
What did you want?
I wanted that one on the top and the white in the lining. But my mum said, you're going to hear that a lot, my mum said that white is underappreciated if it's put away.
Well, it is because it's not just a plain white, it's a white on white.
It
Liberty print white. It is actually.
feels
I mean, to be
very
fair, what I
fresh.
would do is I would keep that bit of white for something else. Use my own.
Oh, would you? You go into your stash.
Yeah, and I'd keep that
Yeah.
because it's so nice and underappreciated.
Yeah. I think this fabric here is offered in like a lilac-y purple as well, I think, on your website. I've used it before and that's beautiful. So, yeah, lots of options, isn't there? So, but that's where we're at, Mum one.
Yeah,
Okay.
well.
So I've made 2 pockets already. Now, you've got your templates for those. But let's just run through one and I'm going to give you
look, they're all on
some
the back.
hints and tips instead.
Templates
of
are
how we
all on the
do
back
this.
and positioning and everything. So
Yes.
this is going to be easy peasy for you.
Okay. Now, whatever we do on the lining, we're also going to do on the outer piece as well. But the lining piece is going to be that little bit taller so that when it's put together, you'll get this little pop just here. So you will see a bit of it. So I won by about 5%. So all we're going to do is we're going to create an inverted pleat. Now, if you don't even want the inverted pleat, leave it out entirely and just carry on as you would do, which ultimately is we're going to be sewing the 2 together, top and bottom. This one's not been trimmed properly, Mother.
You might have chosen the fabric, but you haven't cut it right. Let that go, is she?
Oh, I'll be in trouble later.
You are. If I was you, I wouldn't go home.
So, yeah, if you didn't want to do that at all, just 2 pieces of fabric together, leave a turning hole and carry on as normal. Okay, must remember to trim that down. But all we really need to do to take the written instruction away in its simplest form is we fold it in half, right sides together, and we'll give it a good crease. Mine looks lovely and crisp because I added some starch to this before I came in the room. And then I'm going to fold 1 piece over by 1 inch. So the distance from this crease line to here is 1 inch. And I've just folded it over and I gave it a quick iron. Then, rather than getting baffled, just flip it over, so you're now looking at the wrong side. Take this edge and take it right over to meet the other side, and then give it another press. And it is exactly right then. Now, all we haven't done, though, is still create that inverted pleat. All we now need to do is these folds, this here that we've just created, needs to come to the centre and held into place and ironed again. And then the same on the other side. Equally so, normally luck will help you out, and you can normally just sort of manoeuvre it with your fingers down into place and it will go, and then you can iron it. But let's do this properly. And I'm just going to take that over. If you think things are going to wiggle, then you can get a pin, pop a pin into the top just to anchor it, and one into the bottom. And then we can do the same here as well. So just to the centre line again, pop a pin in just to anchor it, and the same again at the bottom. And then can you see how beautifully crisp all of that is? Really crisp finish. And we can just iron it. There we go. Take the pins out. Lovely flat piece of fabric with that little vent area. The purpose of this is about giving the bag depth, so that when you stuff it with whatever you're stuffing, it gives it space to expand out. If it's not important to you, like I say, just leave it open and flat. Didn't talk about that as an option in the pattern, but it is there. So I've done exactly the same thing on this lining piece already. That's all done, but I do of course need to trim it down. I'm just going to eyeball this, and I'm not going to worry too much. If it's a bit different, it doesn't matter. On the, I mentioned I did the Peter Rabbit bag right back at the start. I actually made the pockets all different shapes. So you could use Debbie's, you know, her heart acrylic templates she was showing in the earlier hour. You could use the hearts and cut out a heart instead. And follow exactly the same format. It wouldn't have the vented part, but you could still, if that was the heart there, you could sew from here to here down just to secure it. That'd be quite sweet.
Well, that's brilliant. Thanks, Lucy. That's fab. Right, I'm just going to go through this bundle again. So the kit that Lucy is working with currently, Liberty Bundle. This is not just any fabric. This is Liberty fabric. So we've got this beautiful green. You've got the lovely mustard Emily Bell, gorgeous Beatrice bouquet, and then the white on white print. And you can choose where, because there's four, I mean, you can have the main body of the bag in white if you wanted. If you wanted it to look like that. Only it would look very white, but I guess if you wanted it to have that really clean look, depending on where you were putting it, you could have this print on the front. It's entirely up to you, because you get 4.5 meters, you put them wherever you like. And full instructions that come with all the cutting instructions, lots and lots of walkthrough photos, and you get the templates and the template for the pocket as well. The cord that goes around the edge is optional. That you can use that just decorative or leave it out. And also the pom-poms. Depends who you're making it for and where you're going to use it, whether you want to put it in. Now, if you want the instructions on their own because you want to use your own fabric, loads and loads of you have bought this one. So this is the printed instructions on their own. £9.99 for those. Loads, over 30 of you have got that in your basket. You need to get checked out on that. First time, brand new today. This is a way for you to make your own storage basket. Whether it's going to be something all full of beautiful things for a baby shower, or whether you're going to keep it in your bathroom, or you want to use it for children's toys or pet toys, all sorts. Use for all different things. Right, now I'm going to go through some other kits and baby showers. Now these are ones that we've had on before, but these are perfect, aren't they, for your baby showers? Gorgeous. So these have got mesh in as well. I think these are brilliant. Let me show you the actual. So these are these little baskets. Now, again, you make these for a baby shower, make them for someone's having a new baby. So you get the rectangular basket, which has the mesh pocket on one side. Great for a changing station. You put all your nappies in there. You can have your little wipes and things. Then you get the medium basket. There we go. Lovely. And you also get this little travel pouch. Oh, and there's another basket as well, isn't there? Yes, sorry, Lucy hasn't got that one with her. But so how many baskets is it?
3.
3 baskets.
And the nappy wallet.
And the little, it's like a travel. So you'd pop that if you wanted to just put a nappy and some wipes in there, just for when you're travelling or putting in your changing bag. Absolutely perfect for that. I mean, because of the fabrics, obviously, this is very children, baby related. So in the bundle, you're going to get these, look at these. 4.5 metres of fabric. So you get the mesh, which is fab, so you can use that for all of the pockets. It's a brilliant product as well. And then this is from the Guess How Much I Love You range. Look at that. I love the colour on this. It's very, very soft, isn't it? Just a really beautiful one. We're in single figures this when everyone's checked out. So you get the blue print. You get this blue almost etch print. The one with the little circles on. And then a plain blue that you can use for the linings. So you can make 3 baskets and the little travel changing pouch, which is just a lovely thing to have just in your handbag that you've always got that to change you with. And obviously you get full instructions. So, and this is easy enough for someone new to sewing to have a go at. Brilliant, isn't it? Right, we have 2 other bundles as well. So this one, again, is a bit like with the storage basket. When you make it, depending on the fabrics you choose, it completely changes the use and the look of it. So we've just got, Lucy's made 1 basket in this one. This is beautiful, isn't it? Love the mesh. The mesh works really well with this, doesn't it?
It's just gorgeous, isn't it? It's really nice. And, you know, it's so good because mesh has got a little bit of a stretch in it, depending on the way you cut it. So if you want the stretch, work with the stretch. If you don't want it, just turn the rotation around.
But it works on this, doesn't it? It's almost like it's almost see-through.
It does. Do you know what I was thinking of with the mesh pocket on the front? Again, with the baby theme, I was thinking that I would want to have, I did. I stacked nappies up in it, put wipes in it. So, you know, you like to keep them in your lounge or anything like that. And then that pocket down the front, you could put things like, you know, when they're teething, their little gels, things like that.
Yeah, or the nappy cream,
yeah,
nappy rash cream
bobs,
and things.
yeah.
And that is lovely, isn't it? But you see, this could be used for storing fat quarters.
I also do that. I use a lot of them for lots of different reasons, yes.
Oh, that's brilliant. Hair clips, all sorts. So in this one, you get the grey, the light grey mesh, and then these are gorgeous, aren't they? So this is kind of ditzy floors. So you've got that grey blender, which works beautifully on the bottom. It looks almost suede-y.
Yeah, it's lovely.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
You've got the green print. Love this monochrome print. Very classy.
Very attractive, isn't it?
Isn't it? It works so well on the actual basket. And then you've got this lovely, this one latte. I'm sure that's latte, because the other day I saw it and couldn't work out what it was called. Latte for the lining. And obviously, so $59.99, you've got 4.5 metres of fabric. You can make 3 baskets with it and the little wallet as well that you can use for, well, you can use as a nappy pouch or anything, really. It's just a little fabric wallet. You could use it for all your craft materials. Right, one final bundle. And this has been the most popular bundle. So, in this one, you've got, this is so pretty, isn't it? It's beautiful. This is from Lewis and Irene. That's lovely with the birds on it. Then you've got this really pretty pink print. Then a little tiny little star print. And then you've got a gold for the lining because it really picks up the gold in the birds. So that's lovely. So, you know, obviously it can be used for baby changing and baby storage, but it doesn't have to be. Equally can be used as storage anywhere in the home. $59.99 for that, and you've got all of the fabric you need. So you've got 4.5 meters. Oh, and you do get the mesh, and this one has got sort of just a neutral colour mesh because it is brilliant. You're going to get more than you need in here as well.
Absolutely, you will, yes. And also those fabrics, wouldn't they look beautiful for the Poppin bag?
They would.
Honestly, they just all transfer so well.
Yeah, they're gorgeous. They're a lovely collection all
Yes,
together, aren't
yes,
they?
Beautiful.
Very nice. So you've done you're just going to show us how to bind that.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, pattern on its own. Then we'll do that. Sorry, pattern on its own. If you just want to buy the pattern physical on its own, here it is. $9.99 for the pattern on its own. And you can use your own fabrics then for it. And if you want to download it and print it off at home, we've also got it there. Brilliant. So that's the pattern on its own. So if you... Oh, brilliant. So if you can show us, how do we work with this mesh then?
Well, I mean, it's really very simple. Just lay it out nice and flat, know your measurements, and cut straight around. It's just a really simple rectangle we're working with here.
Right.
I'm working against the stretch on this.
So it stretches one way, not the other?
That's right. I mean,
Oh,
this
okay.
is, well, this is the non-stretch direction. So if I compare it to this,
right, okay.
got more there. So just check what it is that you want. Then quite simply, all you need is to make yourself this little piece of binding. I've put some tape on, which I shouldn't have done. That was a bad judgment call. But make yourself a little bit of binding, like so. And then you can just lay it inside, just to enclose it. Now, when I sew with the mesh, I tend to reduce my stitch length down as well, because we're working through those holes, and I don't want to miss capturing it in any